the K&K Sports Show. Are you looking for sports knowledge?
I always liked on-base percentage. I was a big on-base percentage guy. Because there were some kids you would look out and go, damn, that kid is always on base.
Passion.
Weapons, weapons, weapons. How excited. I'm fired up for that.
Accountability.
Hello, my fellow ladies and gents. It's the old fraud slayer back with yet another fraud slay.
Loyalty.
One all-around basketball player, rebounding, assists, everything. I'm taking LeBron James.
Strategy.
We go legit sleeper guys, but I think Kyler Murray's going to have a ridiculous year this year.
Mixed with laughter. While keeping it real.
Well, I did because I'm one of the only one that's realistic. He stinks.
The K&K Sports Show starts now.
We are live, guys. This feels like we haven't done this in like 2 weeks. This is crazy. What's going on, boys? Mr. Petro, how are you?
I'm coming for Giannis Antetokounmpo at the top of the hour.
All right, I like it.
Loser.
Mr. Sickinger, how are you, my friend?
Outstanding. Mr. Valente, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. And Mr. Kirkpatrick, we missed you last week.
Well, yeah, it's been 2 weeks. So, I'm back in business, slowly but surely. Tropical, whatever his name was, tried to beat me up.
Okay.
Down, but I'm back in business.
Attaboy.
Good to be back, fellas. Good to be back.
All right. How's everybody doing? Is everyone okay with storms and what else? We got tornadoes and what else is going on? But hey, do you guys believe it's August 12th already? I mean, is that crazy or what? August 12th.
Seems like just yesterday the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It should not be a year that's going by fast, but it is.
Slow but fast, right, Kenny?
That's what they say, right? The older you get, the faster they go.
But you know what? You're still the champs, and we're less than a month away from opening night.
Maybe. There's so much. It's so funny. Everything that goes on in 1 week, right? I mean, from when we spoke last week to now, between the NBA, hockey, baseball, and the shenanigans, college sports. Are you kidding me? And what's going on?
I think it's going to happen. I do. I think it's going to happen.
High school sports? I mean, what do you think is going to happen with?
I know.
I know we're going to get into this in the show, but these conferences, man.
We're gonna. You know what? You know what, Jim? Let's get right into it.
Hey, it's your show, man.
Hey,
you know what? You know who gets? You know what, Kenny? The fraud slayer of the day. The governor of Florida telling all athletes, if your conference is shut down, come to one of our schools in Florida. We're going to play. This is an elected official who said that.
That's got to be tampering, no?
You think so? That guy DeSantis, they can't.
Hey, wait. We got breaking news. Mark just said, hey, Jim, thanks for friending me on Facebook. So, hey, Jim, great job. Because Mark requested it 2 weeks ago, and you stepped up to the plate.
Kurt, let this, you know what? There's people I don't even know. There's people that says mutual friends. My sister gave me a little tutorial on it last night. Said the first person I got to go to, my man Marky Mark. But how about that with the governor of Florida? Yeah, recruiting violations, this, that. But how about him? He can't even get his own state straight, but he's telling athletes from any college conference that's shut down, come to Florida. Come to the COVID hotbed. Come to one of our schools. This is not about education. Let's come play some football.
So breaking news yesterday, the Big Ten and Pac-12 cancel fall sports. Mr. Kirkpatrick, what do you know what, since you haven't been here, start us off. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the Big Ten, it seems like the southern schools, like Jim was just saying, Florida, aren't taking the coronavirus as serious. I think there'll be college football, like you said. I think what can hold them back is if somebody gets a team a college team starts their practices and they have a game and then they have an outbreak like the Cardinals had, for example, Jim or Petro, like the Cardinals in MLB. If the college team has a breakthrough, a major break like that, that could hurt them, But I think they may go ahead and go forward. And I'll throw it back to whoever wants to take this, Nebraska, the head coach saying, we're going to play. And then the Big Ten saying, if you play, you're out of the Big Ten. What do? Are they going to go play for one of these other conferences, go back to the Big 12, go to the ACC, SEC?
You know what? That's somebody making a decision that's way above his pay grade. Scott Frost, I appreciate the enthusiasm. You want to play. All coaches want to play. You know what? Everybody wants to do that. I get it. But you know what? You got to look at the bigger picture with all of this. And the bigger picture is the safety of the safety of the guys out there. It's not the skill positions, Petro. It's the offensive linemen, right? Ask your brother. He was an offensive lineman in college. They're grappling, right, and tussling and spitting and, all that stuff. Meanwhile, a wide receiver could go how many plays without, coming in contact with anybody.
I think another big thing that no one's thinking of is, football. They go in the weight room and lift weights, don't they? Right?
Sure do.
So you're supposed to. Yeah. Are gyms open anywhere?
They're doing it in high school.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right,
think
but high school is not on the scale. High school is not on the scale of a college football team carries, I believe, on average, up to 90 people to every single game. That's guys suiting up, not suiting up, medical staff. 90 people. 90. Now, listen, I have a solution. My solution, I think, is a pretty good idea. What you do is you take the number one team through 64, and you have a November madness, and the first team that can go through the bracket, and you have it in a bubble. You do it down somewhere that there's a couple football stadiums. You do it down in Texas, and you have a March Madness type of thing for college football. No regular season. Numbers 1 through 64. If the school doesn't want to participate, you go down to the next team. Listen, they have rankings for everything. Everybody knows that number 1 through 64 schools in the nation. Unfortunately, those smaller major schools that surprise teams, they're not going to get in.
Right.
But that I think is something that could be talked about. That should have been talked about, because at least you would have gotten college football, and you would have gotten
Petro, I still think you're going to get
country.
college football, because I think the SEC is going to play. I do.
Now, do you give out a Heisman Trophy?
Yeah.
Why?
Do you?
Two of the majors.
This is what
Justin Fields was a favorite. He was a top Heisman candidate. You're already eliminating him. He's not going to be playing.
Well,
it's not his fault.
But I'll say this, and this is where I get like fired up with this topic. And David, I think his name, what was his name? David, is it Pollock? The guy from Georgia, he's on ESPN College Game Day.
Yeah.
He said today, I heard him this morning, on SportsCenter, and he said, then I expect every Big Ten school to report tomorrow, nobody on campus. Because if you can't play football, you can't put kids on campus. So if they're not going to do it, they're all frauds. They are. I mean, how can you not say you can't play football, but in Michigan or Ohio State or Nebraska, how are you going to monitor those kids? What do you think? Those kids are going to sit in dorms 6 feet apart? They're not going to go out? They're going to be on campus? I mean, that's where, to me, it's a joke. Like, you know what? I like what the SEC said. We don't need them. That's on them. But you know what? Nebraska, you want to play? I mean, listen, those kids should just start going, I'm out, and then see what those presidents do. Because how could you play high school football in New Jersey, but you're not going to play college football? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
How are we playing high school football in New
It's not just
Jersey?
the Big Ten, though, Kurt. It's the Pac-12 that already.
Okay, so both of them. But so what? You know what? Listen, we always say it anyway. The championship this year is going to be 2 SEC teams, Clemson, and we'll throw Oklahoma back. I mean, that's what it's going to be anyway. So why can't you have a playoff? It's the same thing.
Petro's idea, I think, is it may happen. Like, you got your big.
I think that's the most realistic. Now, granted, it becomes a little more difficult because you already had the Big Ten and Pac-12 drop out, because that would have been.
They're out.
You know what I mean? Like you would have had obviously Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State would have been involved in what I was talking about, and you obviously would have had USC, Oregon, Wisconsin. Those schools would have been in it. You know what I mean? So I think they kind of jumped the gun on calling it. I think it should have been something that they realistically thought, because not for nothing, it's you would have gotten what everybody's been asking for. If the way the rankings worked, you would have gotten that, and it would have been the best teams at the end. You would have had like an Elite Eight, and it would have been what we wanted, because we all want expanded college football playoffs. We don't want just 4 teams making it. We want to see like 6 or 8. And that would have been a way to test it out where you could see how it works. And it would have been a way to get at least all the schools to
Mike,
not.
is this sending a bad message right now? Like, let's just talk about this as, America watching college football. And we all know everything that we talk about all the time goes back to money. Now, with that being said, how do you guys feel about this being done? It's almost like separatist type situation. You know what? Why didn't all the conferences of the Power Five get together and say, this is what we're going to do in the best interest of everybody? Or at least get together. Now, they may have had their differences, right, Kurt? They would have had their differences, because the SEC is like a lone wolf in this.
But here's the thing, like how, and they said, I think it was the ACC had their health guy or whatever it was, some kind of health officials that said, I think we could play football. So how the Big Ten's deciding they can't play football because, I don't believe because the Big Ten does it, the SEC or the ACC has to do it. Like, why? Like, I don't believe in that. I don't.
They don't. They're worried about becoming liable if a kid gets sick. And they're already saying that
kids are going to get sick.
It's possible
but
that
kids
they
got
might,
sick already.
But it's possible that they might force the kids to sign a waiver that the university won't be liable if they get sick. And you're really putting a kid in a tough spot because, listen. I joked about it. They're not all over 18 years old. Not all of them.
Yeah, but you know what?
What if you have a true freshman star coming in to play linebacker for you or offensive line that you recruited, number 1 recruit in the nation? He's 17 years old.
But the majority of kids are 18 years old.
Right, but you're putting a 17-year-old, and then guess what? Then it falls on the parents, and the parents are going to have to tell the kid you can't play. And then
but how are they playing high school football? How are they?
That's
playing?
Another
because it is different. It is different though because a high school doesn't have 90 people on the sideline involved.
Yeah, but you're going to have think about this.
Different.
You're going to have high school teams in New Jersey playing sports that
aren't
not going to school. That's even crazier.
No,
so you're going to have
agree.
Kids that are going to be learning. Sorry, Mike, but you're going to have kids right now that are learning online during the day, but going to football practice after school.
Right. How's that safe?
This is never going to happen. Kurt, here's how things change. Like you guys know, we just discussed this. My daughter is supposed to move in to Connecticut, UConn on Sunday. She just got something yesterday that said, listen, the campus is still overcrowded. If you're an out-of-state student and you're taking online classes, do not come back. Go to this site. Don't come back. We don't want you. We need to bring the number of people down on campus. So her moving date Sunday, just got that yesterday. Something else just came out today, that if you are on campus, you are no means allowed to leave the campus. You can't go to CVS. You can't go to Dunkin' Donuts. If you're on campus, you have to stay on campus.
But Kenny,
so these rules are changing every day with the lead-up date being Sunday.
Right, but see,
you can't even eat inside a restaurant right now.
You can't do anything.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like none of it makes sense. It's like the priorities of everybody is so out of whack. And I get it, man. Like you want to try and get back to normal, but you can't rush it because
we got to take a year pause. A year pause on this shit.
They rushed it. Florida, Arizona, and Texas all rushed it, and so did California. And look what
happened.
But here's the thing:
California has more cases than New Jersey has now. That is absurd.
Right, but here's the thing, Petro, and I want Kenny's opinion on this. But you had Trevor Lawrence, who he's the face of college football, hands down. came out, hashtag we want to play. Jim Harbaugh, Dave from Ohio State. All these people are point blank saying, this is how these kids are going to stay safe. You know, like.
That's a company line, Kurt.
So listen,
Kurt, but I'm saying is, how can a kid, let me ask you something. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, there's no way I'm going to Clemson. I'm not going into class. Why am I going to class? Why? I can't go on a football field, but I'm going to go into a bio class?
Nope.
For what? But they are. They are.
They said it. They were talking about it the other day on Michael Kay, and they made it a point. So a college football team has 65 scholarship players and 25 walk-on players total. That's the total amount of players on a college football team. I believe that was the numbers. You mean to tell me that a coach is going to know where all 90 of his players are every day?
How's the college going to do it with thousands of people? Where are they going?
But see, the difference is no offense to the other kids in college. They don't care about those kids because you want to see college football. So they got to worry about the 90 guys. And you have
athletes mixing with kids coming back.
You have to worry about those 90 players.
Right, but how? But I'm saying is, how is if me, you, Kenny, and Jim just go to Michigan and we don't play sports? We're not going to social distance. You think we're going to sit in 6 feet apart in class and then go back to our dorms or our house and sit 6 feet? We're not going out. We're not going to bars. We're not.
That's what they're telling you. You have to do, Kurt.
But they're going to do it. But they're going to do it. They can't.
They're going to.
Listen, New Jersey. Wait. New Jersey told them down the shore, we don't want lines. There was 300 people in Donovan's Reef the other day, and our governor said, well, if you do it next time, I'm going to fine you. Well, what about this time? They had nobody with masks. They don't do anything.
You just hit the point. That's why Michigan and the Big Ten canceled. They know the kids are going to go out, and they're not going to social distance, and they're liable if one of these players gets coronavirus.
Then they should shut the school. No school at all. Nobody should be in school. Nobody should be in apartments. Nobody should be indoors.
Do we know if Michigan's going to school? Do we know if Ohio State's going to school?
Nobody. Shouldn't they have canceled it yesterday when they canceled football?
Do we know if they did or didn't? I don't know if they did.
As of now, there's kids going on campus. Yeah.
Yeah, but they still have.
It's such a fluid situation. This, like I said,
right now.
From Mike, what I was just saying before, right? Like this thing has changed every day. We're getting emails from the college. This has changed. This has changed. This has changed. Right?
But again, you're playing with kids' future. Where personally, like Trevor Lawrence wants to play. These kids, like I'm not playing in this. Those guys aren't going to play in the spring. I hope none of those guys play in the spring. They got to worry about the NFL and their ratings go. I mean.
Jim, what coach wouldn't want to say that I don't want to play?
Jim, you're talking about UConn. I got a friend who goes to Towson State down here.
Okay.
And their fall sports was canceled too. Football, everything. She lives at an apartment near the campus. All her classes are going to be virtual with the exception of one. She's in athletic training, so I don't know which class it is. But a lot of their kids are not going to be on campus. So we don't know how many kids are going to be on these campuses, Kurt.
They're scaling back.
We got to look into those numbers.
But Kenny, that's even worse because I come home. Okay, I go to school in Rutgers. I come back to Clifton. Nobody knows where I am. Back on the weekend, what I'm doing. Now on Monday, I'm back. That's worse than technically the college football. Those guys are going to be, I don't want to use the word bubble, but they're going to be, they want to play. They're going to do the right thing. These other kids, these other 100,000. Yeah.
How professionals can't do. Look at the two kids pitching for Cleveland, Plesac and Clevenger. You know what? And that's the other thing, too, which people get confused. You know what? People are like, oh, pro football. Those are professionals. They're getting paid to play. These are high school and college kids.
I know we can go on for 2 hours, even 2 days about this stuff. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Jim.
No, it's fine because you're obviously right.
The Marlins, they went out and partied, right? What happened? 18 guys with coronavirus.
Okay, and what happened to them now?
What happened with the Cardinals? What happened with the Cardinals?
Wait, what happened to the Marlins now?
What happened with the Cardinals? Now there's
The
still
Marlins are playing 9 guys that never touched the Major League Baseball.
Okay, but they're playing. Just and you know what?
Hold on, Kurt. Hold on, Kurt.
They're professionals.
When 20 of the Michigan football players go out and party because they beat Ohio State, and then they come back with 15 kids on the team with coronavirus. The difference is, Kurt, they're not getting paid. That falls on the campus, the college.
Okay, then Kenny, you know what? I'm going to give you the number tonight. I want you right to Governor Murphy saying no, because if you're saying college shouldn't play, there's no way. Clifton High School, Garfield High School, Cedar Grove, North Arlington, nobody should be practicing tomorrow, right? All 3 of you guys are saying there should be no sports practice, correct? You guys are on the record.
I'm going to tell you, people cancel their sports. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you. I'm saying to you right now, I don't think there's going to be.
But they're playing now.
We just haven't.
But if there's practice tomorrow,
who's playing now? It's August.
But if they're practicing, they're at risk. They're at risk. If there's 2 people there, they're at risk. There is, and there's more than 2.
There's nobody practicing high school.
Of course they are.
In full pads, they're out there in full pads hitting each other right now.
No,
they are not.
What's that mean? They're still practicing. They're in a weight room together.
There's no weight room. There's no weightlifting going on right now.
Yes, there is. Listen. Watch us on Tuesday night. We had Clifton, Ramapo, and Lyndhurst. They're working out.
I go
phase
to the
two. Phase 2. Phase 2. Phase 3 is live.
And run or play golf. I'm at the high school tennis. There's no high school kids over there. There's a couple random kids running the track.
Because Maryland shut down sports, right, Kenny? Maryland and Delaware shut down high school sports for the fall.
I believe it's shut down, yes.
My point is, if the SEC plays, if the SEC or this ACC and Big 12 or whatever, or just the SEC, what is that showing you if they could do it, right? Because how many people have come on and said, baseball's not going to last. Baseball, and everybody with the panic. Oh, my God, the updates every day. Oh, the Marlins got 18 guys. Now it's every day is you know what the highlights were? Sports Center today? The hockey game, 5 overtimes. Judge got hurt. Yankees game. The NBA, Damian Lillard scored 61. There was nothing on TV like today. Nothing. It started going. They do the right thing. The Marlins have guys. You sit them out. You don't play. The Cardinals have played 4 games. The league goes on. The league goes on, just like
but the league didn't go on for the Marlins. They were supposed to have a 60-man taxi squad where if guys got sick, they were supposed to pull, but they said they weren't going to have major league caliber guys ready.
I'll tell you this.
I want to bring up one example, and then you can do whatever you want, Kurt. You can continue to the next subject or whatever. There's a burning building, and there's a dog in that burning building. Petro goes in and tries to get the dog. Jim goes in and tries to get the dog. You go in and try and get the dog. I don't want to go in and try and get the dog and risk my life. Are you all going to be like, are you going to scream at me because I don't want to go in that building?
No.
Exactly.
No, but here.
Why are you screaming at the Big Ten?
Well, here you go. Well, here you go. Because
like going into a burning building, this coronavirus.
Okay, but wait, you guys are saying about they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. Mark's just chanting right now. Mark's kids practice next week. 6th, 7th graders practice next week. They're not going to be touchy. They're playing.
For conferences, you can't get mad at high schools for wanting to be cautious, Kurt. That's the point.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I just think it's a bad optic that some are and some aren't. It's sending a real bad message to people.
Right.
You know what?
It was like when March Madness happened and you saw teams individually were dropping out. It should have just been all out. Either you cancel it or you continue on, or if you want to opt out, that like it shouldn't be by choice. It should be something set in stone.
Thank
like
you.
it's you're getting
Petro, it should be like that with schools. We listen.
It should be like that with everything.
You could do it. You can't do it. You can't. You could think about it. It's like nobody wants to take responsibility. Well, if you want to do it, if you don't want to do it, you don't.
Because no one wants to be the bad guy, Kurt. Mark
it.
Emmert, the president of the NCAA, should say, "We're shutting it down. See you January 1st."
But what? But see,
because he doesn't want to be the bad guy because it's all about money.
But he did. But he did for college basketball.
My
he had no choice at that point.
I was right at the beginning of this whole.
No, he had no choice.
But you do
Now
realize there's been tons of people on the national media that said there should be no sports, no baseball, no basketball, no hockey.
Unless done right.
Well, but you know what? It is done right because they're doing it.
Yeah, but they're in a bubble.
Baseball's not in a bubble.
But baseball already said by the time the playoffs get around, they're going to be in a bubble. Baseball, you couldn't be in a bubble because you had to play you had to play a whole entire season. And 2, it's 31 teams that it's too many games. It's 60 games per team. It would have been impossible. At least for the playoffs, they can do it in a bubble. You're talking college football. It's thousands of schools. It's impossible. It's literally impossible.
There's no way they're going to be able
sense.
to do it.
Mark Petroselli saying we'll never socially distance on a day-to-day basis. They spend the entire month of August in a bubble with each other. They're attached at the hip all day. They have classes together, have meals together, spend their downtime hanging out.
Yeah, my brother. So my brother played Division I football. He played Division I AA football at Marist. So like he knows like everything. Like that's why I'm glad he commented because and that's when things were normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just think about it this way. Even if they do the right thing, cool. What if Trevor Lawrence gets COVID-19? And then what?
But that's then Trevor Lawrence. But Trevor Lawrence isn't forced to play. Just like a teacher's not forced to go teach. Just like a cop is not forced to be a cop. You know, like everyone. Kenny doesn't. No one's going to drag Kenny to the hospital tomorrow. He's going to say, my job's not worth it. I'm not going in. I mean, that's what you do.
No one better drag me off. I'm off. I'm not working hard
tomorrow. But I'm saying
a kid is always going to want to play.
Can I just say something?
You can't. I joked around about it that I would have gotten left back if I was in this situation because I couldn't play my senior year of sports.
Guys,
you're
Chris
always going to want
to
play.
Caputo were chiming in saying, welcome in tonight.
Evening, gentlemen. Hey, you know what? Can I just say this? And I truly believe this, and it's the last we'll touch on this subject, I guess, as far as I'm concerned. People are looking for guidance. Kids are looking for guidance from adults. Adults are looking for guidance from people in upper situations from them. But like I go back to say this, whether it's a school administration, a coach, kids want to play, coaches want to coach. Do I blame Scott Frost for wanting to play or any coach? No. You want your kids to play. And what coach is going to stand there and say, I really didn't want to play anyways, right. But we were just – no. You're telling your kids that we're standing behind you 100% and we wanted to play. It's all about the message. But you're looking for people, a college president, the head of the NCAA, the president of the United States, the governor, somebody to tell us what to do. Because you know what? When somebody gives you direction and tells you what to do, it makes it so much easier because now that decision has been made for you. Shame on all these conferences for some wanting to play and some not wanting to play.
Yep.
Either you're all in or you're all out. But you can't do this where you know what?
You're right.
Some are doing it and some are not. And people are starting to talk about awards and Heisman. Who cares right now?
Right.
You know what? You know who I care about? You know what they were talking? This made all the sense in the world. How can Iowa, who's in the Big Ten, not play football, but Iowa State, which is an hour and a half south of them,
play Big 12?
Play because they're in the Big 12. Please, somebody explain that to me. Join our discussion and come on and say, tell me how much that makes sense that a school an hour and a half away, just because it's in another conference, but it's in the same state can play.
Now,
it doesn't make sense.
Here's Mark's comment. The difference is you can only go to work forever. The difference is you can go to work forever. You only have so much time to play sports. Most of these seniors will never play sports again if this season is over.
But you know what? And Mark's absolutely right. But look at the time that we're in right now. It's almost like, you know what? If we did this right, you're taking 1 year out of your life to get this stuff right. We got people who can't even social distance and do the things that we're supposed to do. And these are the adults. The people, like you said, lined up at the bar down there, 300 people. Who are they? They're the adults.
Right.
The people on the beach.
But
here's the thing. What happened?
But Jim, what happened to them? Nothing. Nothing. So you don't think this weekend there's going to be people lined up at that bar down there? And if it's
Sure
not
are.
that bar, they're going to be somewhere else. By the way, Coach Breslin saying, Jim, I agree 100%. The NCAA should pull the plug and tell everyone that it's shut down.
They have to.
But they won't.
The coach from Ohio State said he wanted the season to start in January. Came out today and said it.
And you know what? A good thing, it was a good listen yesterday. Kirk Herbstreit, we all know him from ESPN. He has 2 kids that go to Clemson. And he said he's advising, telling the kids, listen, there's no way. How are they going to play spring football? You can't play that many games in one calendar year without a rest. I mean, they're even saying you shouldn't be able to play X amount of games for putting yourself in danger. How are you going to play spring football, take a couple months off, and then come back next fall?
Again, I heard the best one I heard was David Pollack today that said, then I expect in the next 2 days every Big Ten to say there's no people on campus. Because if you can go to school and you can live in dorms and you can walk on campus and you can go to the bars and get food, but you can't play football, then something's wrong. So we'll see. All those Big Ten should shut everything down. Like you're saying, Jim, shut it all down.
My very last thing on this whole thing. Okay, Jim has daughters that go to UConn. Okay, it's not just football, it's every fall sport. You're not talking about 90 kids, you're talking about hundreds of kids that play fall sports and are traveling within their conference, not around the country, but they're still traveling within their conference. If you want the fall sports to work, those kids need to be in a bubble at the campus, separate part of campus, and that's the only way it could possibly work, because then you can't have these kids so communicating, contact with other students and risking them.
Okay, here's my last point, Kenny. Wait.
The point I'm trying to make is the campuses are looking at the non-athletes.
Okay, so let me just ask you this, because this virus, Kenny. Wait, real quick. Last thing, Kenny. You're the guy in the medical field, because this virus spreads fast, right through whatever. So North Arlington High School, they should be in a bubble, is what you're saying, because North Arlington tomorrow is going to have a football workout. Those kids are around each other. They're not going to a bubble. They're going to this house down the shore down there, and they'll be back together on Monday. So you're saying that every high school in Jersey should shut down, correct, Kenny?
They have some kind of guidelines. They should have some traffic.
Guidelines? What guidelines? You're saying they got to be in a bubble.
They'd be going to the shore.
But they are.
But they are.
That's the problem.
They
I
are.
know what's going on in Maryland. I don't know what's going on in New Jersey.
Oh, my God.
Good luck. Hey, good luck
300 people at the high school playing sports, Kurt. Maryland shut down. I don't know what's going on.
Not Jersey.
Good luck trying to tell a college kid that he can't go and see his girlfriend, or can't go home to have his parents do his laundry, or to go
Can't
home.
leave campus.
Yeah, good
But
luck.
I'll send you guys the stuff that the school
But how
sent us.
crazy is this? If Rutgers isn't going to practice or play football, but North Arlington High School is.
But
I mean,
you
how
know
dumb
what?
is that? And
I
North
agree.
and North Arlington's not going to be in school, but they're going to practice on a football field. No school,
Right.
football field, but Rutgers is off.
Put all of that together.
I mean, that's still that's
Put
not
all that
that's
together.
dumb.
Virtual learning during the day,
Right.
schools. Go
Right.
to practice after school, but then the kids are going to be all over. This is a disaster waiting to happen.
Right.
Once
And
again,
Rutgers-
I don't
but
want to see
Rutgers-
this happen.
But Rutgers, the kids that are like you guys are saying, the kids 17 shouldn't make that decision, but you're gonna have a 14-year-old making that decision, going to practice.
Well, no, it's the parents' decision. The parents are letting them play.
And those are the people going around with no masks on.
The parents are the ones letting the kids play.
I saw a guy going into a store the other day. The guy took a plastic bag. He couldn't have a mask. He took a plastic bag and ripped the top and pulled a plastic bag over his face. I said, we're going to find this guy dead in aisle 15 because he's trying to wear a plastic bag over his face.
It's an innovator.
These are the people who go home and tell their kids,
we
go
could
to
talk
football
about this
practice
for a
today, son."
4-hour show.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's do this. We're going to get to NBA real quick. Petro, go over your question real fast, because I forgot to even get to that.
Oh, everybody watching. So I guess I want to do just overall, since like the NBA, it's based on kind of star power. You know, you got to have a good 1-2 punch. So name us your top 5 current NBA duos. It doesn't have to be guys that are in the playoffs. It could be just in general. Who would be your top 5 NBA duos? If you want to only give us playoff ones, that's fine too. But whatever you want to do, it's just curious what everybody's answer is. I feel like everybody's top 3 are going to be close to the same, but then I think the bottom 2 are going to be kind of different for everybody. So that's the NBA question. Are we getting into NBA? Can I go in on?
Yeah, we're getting into. I want to read 2 comments just real quick. Chris Schul's saying Rucker players are interacting with a lot more people than the high school student North Arlington. And Bob Caputo said, "Kids will be kids. They will gather. They will socialize. They will not act like they are in solidarity."
Exactly, I agree.
All right, let's get to NBA. So go ahead. You were up first with your Greek Freak complaint.
So I don't know if any. Did you guys see it last night?
I did.
Did you guys see what he did?
Yes.
Okay. Kenny, you should go on while you're in front of the computer and Google what Giannis Antetokounmpo did. He was so first of all, his reasoning behind it was because he was frustrated that the physicality of the first 10 minutes of the game was just way too much. But he attempted 12 free throws in the first 10 minutes of the game. So obviously they were calling fouls. Mm-hmm. Then he got called for an offensive foul, went down to the end of the court, decided to come back all the way down to the end of the court that the foul was called on at the kid Wagner on the Washington Wizards. He then got in his face and headbutted him. Blatantly headbutted him. Very noticeable. He has been suspended for 1 game. And the 1 game that he's suspended for is the 8th remaining game in the bubble, which is a meaningless game for the Bucks. He wasn't even going to be playing in it. Now,
joke. It's a joke. My opinion is a joke.
Mind you, Giannis Antetokounmpo is everybody's pick to win MVP. I don't really agree with it, but whatever. He's going to be probably a back-to-back MVP. He's arguably the face of the NBA. I would say, would you agree with that, Kurt?
Yes. Yep.
Giannis is probably the face. Besides, I would say him and LeBron.
Yep.
And Curry, when Curry's healthy. Those 3 guys I would say are like the faces. But those would be the 3 main guys that you would say are the faces of the NBA. They're really trying to shove Giannis down everybody's throats right now.
They are.
I think it's fair. And it's fair. He's a great player. You want your face of the NBA doing something like that? Is that good press?
Nope.
It's not. If LeBron James did that, the internet would have went on fire and shut down. Okay, but it's like this guy gets a pass now for doing something that was so out of line. I had no bad hate, like no ill will towards Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't stand him now. I genuinely can't stand him. And it's like he had a chance to win over people and win a title. I hope to God he doesn't now. I hope they get bounced before they even get to the final. I think they're going to. I think Toronto's going to knock them out.
You know what's ridiculous though, Petro, too, is just though like you're saying though, yeah, he did it, but the NBA, what kind of cowards? What kind of cowards? Seriously, why even suspend them? I'm suspending him for Thursday's game. He wouldn't play tomorrow if. He would not play at all tomorrow. He wasn't going to play. They got locked up the number 1 seed. That's such an opt-out. We suspended him. Like you're saying, set the tone. Game 1 suspension. That won't happen anymore.
Listen, I'm not saying you should suspend them for multiple playoffs games. Yeah. But you know what? Make the punishment hurt a little bit. Yep. Make him know that everybody in the NBA saw what he did, and you can't be doing that kind of shit. It's like. If it was J.R. Smith, for example, who did it, okay, would people care as much? No, probably not. But you know what? I bet you the punishment would be more.
Oh, he would easily. I bet you he would.
Because you know why? Because J.R. Smith is the kind of guy that has gotten into some trouble before.
Yep.
And you're you know what I mean? It's just bogus. It was a completely out of line play. It wasn't like it was a hard foul. And Giannis came down with his arm and hit the guy. No, man, he was down at the other end of the court and he walked all the way back down to just straight up headbutt a guy. It was it wasn't on the level of Zidane in that World Cup game when he headbutted the guy from Italy. Yeah. But I mean, it was pretty much that.
Reggie Miller, John Starks. Those are the other famous headbutts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
It was.
And to think
it
about
was
headbutting
ridiculous.
somebody. In Carney, we call it the Glasgow kiss. Bang, giving somebody a headbutt. Now, right, Mike? I mean, talk about stuff that's premeditated. Like when Grayson Allen looked like a little bitch when he was trying to trip people a couple of years ago, got called out on that stuff. But when you're going to headbutt somebody, I mean, that is some really, like,
It's a chump move.
It's a premeditated punk move, right? You're exactly
Without a
right.
doubt. Without a doubt. Listen, if you're mad and you want to do it, square up and hit him.
But it's
That's
so,
it.
like I said, though, it's so weak on the NBA to be like, well, we suspended him, but
One game.
Come on, game.
You suspended him in a meaningless
Come
game,
on.
and the Bucks are gonna try and say, "Oh, you don't." They came out and said, "Well, you don't know if we were gonna bench Giannis tomorrow." Of
Right.
course, we were gonna
Yeah,
bench
come on.
Giannis
Come on.
tomorrow.
If they
It's
did
a
it, they were
meaningless-
stupid. If they did it,
It's
they
a
were
me-
stupid.
He could
It's
show
a
up in
meaningless
slippers.
game. It's a meaningless game with nothing to play for. They have the 1 seed on lock. No one's gonna take it from them.
Chris Schul
So,
saying
like-
3 games. Mark's calling me out. Jim saying I still got to get Mark his 1 frame. I can't
Yeah,
find
I
that
mean,
1 frame.
even like 3 games. That is basically putting the Bucks in a really bad spot.
Yeah, 1
But
game.
I mean, I
One game.
you know what? I can't argue with either though because
Yeah.
listen, if it was somebody like LeBron or if it was somebody like Curry or you know what I mean, any other big time star, someone like Russell Westbrook, for example, who's very outspoken and loud, you know what I mean? Like people would be demanding for more, but this guy just gets a pass. And like, all I saw was everybody writing in comments on Instagram, and this is your MVP? Question mark.
Yeah, well, they don't
Listen to
make the
me.
best
Listen to
decisions.
me. LeBron James might be a crybaby, but he would never, ever in a million years lose his cool to that point to turn around and headbutt somebody.
Coach
and that's the
Breslin saying
difference.
3 games would be fair.
You know what?
I-
You know, more than
I think they
games,
could have given him 3, and then you could have appealed it, and you would have gotten 2.
Right, and then you
I think
get
that's where it would have gone.
tomorrow,
right, you
and
get
game
tomorrow,
1.
and you get the
Game
game
one.
1.
Yep.
That would have been fair, but
Yep.
not punishing them, not hitting Giannis where it hurts, and
Yeah.
seeing that your actions really affected your team because now they got to go into an opening round playoff game without you because you were a hothead.
Right,
and
on a neutral court.
Giannis
Yeah.
is becoming a hothead. I don't know
Yep.
if you have seen him during this bubble. He is becoming like a hothead.
Playing
Like, he
angry.
thinks he's playing angry. And like, dude, you don't have to do that. You're one of the best
Yep.
players in the NBA. You have nothing to prove to anybody.
Hey, Mike,
So,
another
like, I don't
question.
know.
Hey, Mike, another question, and I'm not 100% sure because did they hit him this way?
Yes, it's gonna find one game. Giannis is gonna lose all. It was like
What's a one-game
175
check to him, right?
Nothing.
175 grand. 175 grand.
Well, the question I have though is if it was LeBron James, if it was Russell Westbrook, if it was any other superstar, we'd be looking at 1 game too. I think.
Without a doubt.
Oh,
If it was Mo
yeah,
Wagner,
I agree.
he'd
I
suspend
agree.
Without a
every
doubt.
No,
agree,
I
but
know your
also-
point. Yeah, no, I agree
I also
100%.
think it's wrong.
I agree 1,000,000%. It's definitely wrong. It's just
I
the
think
way the NBA is that they're gonna let the superstars get away with it, and it's
The
total.
NBA is the one. The NBA is the one league that they really do protect their stars.
Yep.
They favor their stars big time, and it's like just like the cop out that he said like, oh, I was frustrated because of the physicality of the game in the beginning. But man, you went to the free throw line 12 times in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
They're clearly calling the fouls.
Can't
Guess
have it
what,
both
bro?
ways.
Guess what, bro? You are 6'10" and you go to the basket like a freight train. You're gonna get fouled.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You could legitimately probably make a case that LeBron and Giannis and Anthony Davis, they probably get fouled every single play when they get the ball. You could probably make the case that because it's literally the only way that you could slow them down. They're just that good. So like, I don't know. That was just my take. I couldn't believe it when it was only 1 game.
I
When it
agree.
came out, it was like I was absolutely shocked.
All right, let's do this. Let's go
They
because
do
we're a little
protect-
behind.
They do protect their players. That's the
I
problem.
want to do this quick.
Do the ship, Kurt.
Real quick. NBA playoff predictions. I know the official bracket's not out until after
Are we doing our
tomorrow's
top
game.
5, or is that the audience question, and we're doing that later?
Let's get to the NBA predictions first, then we'll get to our dynamic duels.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so here we go. Real quick, Eastern Conference Championship. Again, I know the bracket's not out, but right now, Kenny, start us off. Who would be the 2 teams in the Eastern Conference Championship you're picking?
I'm going Bucks, and I think the Sixers may make a run.
Petro?
I'm going Raptors Bucks.
Jim?
What he said.
Okay. I'm going to go Milwaukee. And I don't know how the bracket is, but I like Indiana. I know TJ Warren got hurt today, but
Indiana right now is the 5. They would be playing Miami, and then they would play the winner of
Milwaukee,
Boston.
right?
No, they would play the winner of Boston, Philly.
All right, I'm gonna ride with Indiana. I'm gonna ride with Milwaukee, Indiana, and then your Eastern Conference champs, Kenny.
I'll still go with Milwaukee.
Petro,
I'm going Toronto.
Jim.
I'm going to stay with Milwaukee. I picked them early on.
I'm gonna take Milwaukee too. Now in the West, this is interesting. Your Western Conference championship, Kenny.
We don't have seedings, right?
No.
Yeah, I got right now seedings is Lakers 1, Clippers 2, Nuggets 3, Rockets 4, Oklahoma City 5, Utah 6, Mavericks 7, and then Lakers are going to play the winner. Like it'll either be Portland, Phoenix, or Memphis. That's
but they're
not
saying
decided
somehow,
yet.
Petro. I don't know if I could be wrong on this, but somebody was saying the Clippers could fall to 4 if they somehow.
It has to work out that the teams they have to lose, and then they would need help. But it is possible. The last game, the Clippers have had a terrible bubble. They have been really going through it. They have not looked good.
Chris Shule is going Milwaukee and Boston in the East. Go ahead. All right, so Kenny, what do you got?
You like Denver. I'm going to go with the Clippers. I don't know if they're going to face each other, but I would say the Lakers or the Clippers against the Nuggets in the championship.
Okay. Jim?
I'm going to go with the Nuggets.
Petro?
I just think it's destined to be Lakers-Clippers. So
I think it's going to be Lakers-Clippers if it stays the way it is, but if it's late, if somehow the Lakers got to play the Lakers aren't going to beat the Clippers in my opinion. So I think the Clippers, if they're 4, Lakers are in. I mean, listen, the Lakers are going to be in trouble with Portland.
Portland's going to push them a little bit. Remember, they made it to the championship last year, but they got swept. But they made it to the championship last year.
Chris Shule saying LA.
I agree. I think Portland will test the Lakers, but I just don't think that they have enough to beat them. And I'm not saying it because I'm a LeBron guy. I just
how bad do you feel for Phoenix?
Yeah, listen to me, Phoenix. Listen, the way Phoenix is playing right now. If you know, I know right now Portland's got the 8, and it'll be Phoenix and them at the 9. So the advantage will be to Portland because they only got to win
Memphis. But Memphis has their own destiny. If Memphis wins tomorrow, it's Memphis-Portland. If it goes Portland and Memphis, would be the 8-9.
But I think Memphis and Phoenix have the same record right now.
Yeah, but I think somehow Memphis wins the tiebreaker because they're saying Phoenix can be undefeated and not get into the playoff. They were talking about that today.
That's
sorry,
crazy.
NBA champ, Kenny.
I'm gonna. You know me. I'll go off the board. I'll go Nuggets. I'll go Nuggets.
Jim.
I'm gonna go with Milwaukee.
Petro.
Lakers.
And I'm gonna go Clippers. I know they've had a bad, but I mean, I don't know. I still think.
I think for once, I think this might be the first time ever we all picked somebody different.
And I like Denver, Kenny. I mean, I think Denver's. Oh, you went Denver, right?
I like Denver. I like Denver too. Michael Porter Jr. is playing good.
Yeah.
Bull playing good. They're good.
Yeah.
They got a tough. Denver's got a real tough road.
Damian Lillard's playing good. Everybody else is next level down right now.
Oh my God, he's insane.
Him and Devin Booker, they are just.
Come to New York, right, Kurt?
Jim, what did I tell you that night? Damian Lillard. Listen, that would be the number one guy I would want because he don't listen. He's not like I'm telling you, man, that guy.
They're giving out a bubble MVP. Is Damian Lillard everybody's bubble MVP?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has to be, right?
Chris Shule's going Lakers, Celtics, Lakers.
Ooh, good classic. Good classic rivalry.
One there.
All right, real quick, Kenny, give me a surprise and a disappointment of these upcoming playoffs.
The Nuggets.
Okay.
My surprise, I guess if they're going to win the championship, right? Disappointment. Celtics. I know Chris Shule's got them going, but I think the Sixers can beat them early in the first round, and that could be a disappointment. I'm not high on the Celtics.
Petro?
I think,
sorry.
but in my defense, if the Sixers can easily, I don't want to take anybody's thunder. I'll let everybody go first. I was going to say the Sixers can be a disappointment too, but that's cutting everybody's thunder if they got the Sixers as at this point.
Petro, what do you got?
I want to say the Sixers, but I think Ben Simmons is done, right?
Yeah,
he's out,
done.
right?
He's done for the year. Yep.
So it's hard for me to put them as a disappointment because without him, I just don't see how they can get past Boston in that first round. That's just hard for me to do. I think my biggest surprise, I'm going to say Houston, man. For some reason, everybody counts them out, dude. Harden and Westbrook are good, bro. They are.
Yep.
When those guys are going, they are. Man, Harden is so good. That dude can score from anywhere. Man. He is so good. He was putting dudes in blenders the other night, man. Oh, they're fun to watch. So I would say Houston is my surprise. My disappointment, I'm going to say it's the Bucks because I think the Bucks have they have, I think, the cushiest road to get there.
Yep.
And if they don't get there,
they're in trouble.
They are. Let me tell you something.
Right.
Giannis's window is closing, man.
Yeah.
You know, listen. Everybody always talked about how it was so easy for LeBron to get through the East, okay? Because it was the East. The East was weak, right? You don't have Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors anymore, okay? So you can't say that the Raptors listen, Siakam, yeah, he's great and all, but he's not on Giannis's level. He's not. So if Giannis is supposed to be the next guy of the NBA, it should be a walk in the park for him to get to the NBA Finals right now. And he couldn't do it last year because Kawhi took it to him and made him look not like an MVP last year.
But see, this is what, and you guys tell me if you agree or disagree. I always say with the free agency, like with free agents, don't pay guys max money if they're not a max guy. And you know what? The Milwaukee Bucks are a prime example because Chris Middleton is not a max guy, and he is not a number 2. So I'm sorry, they could have went out and somehow got a Chris Paul or something like that. And when you start doing that, there's no wiggle room on that team now. So because
the NBA is weird though with contracts because I think the NBA, I believe every team has to spend a certain amount of money. I think it's like a weird way with NBA
right,
contracts.
But now you're stuck with him because let me ask you something. I'm not taking him on. I want no part of him on the Knicks.
Draymond Green's in the same boat though. The Warriors gave Draymond Green a boatload of money.
I'll take Draymond Green over Chris Middleton.
No,
I don't like Chris Middleton at all.
No way.
I'll tell you this: Chris Middleton will never on that team. He will never. If you're asking me, and I'm down 1, I'm going Greek Freak. I'll go Kyle Korver. I'll go Eric Bledsoe. I never want the ball in his hands. No way. Put the game on the line. No way.
So who was yours, Kurt?
My surprise was Indiana, and my disappointment was I'm going to say Utah because I think Utah, they were hyped up 2 years ago, and who they matched up with? Petro, OKC.
Utah, if it stays right now, they got Denver in the first round.
Right, so they ain't going to beat Denver. I mean, they've gone from the second round to first round to first round. All right, we got a question.
Denver, and then they would play the winner. They would play the winner of Clippers Mavericks.
Real question. Bobby Elsmore with a question. Sick. Which player who played with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was suspended 26 games for punching a Houston Rocket, and who was the player he punched?
Kermit Washington punched Rudy Tomjanovich.
There it is.
Where's his question? I don't even see it.
Oh, you know why? You're not seeing it because you're only seeing the Facebook questions.
Oh. Hey,
Can I ask a quick rapid-fire question, Kurt?
I got it, Els. Nice job.
Kurt, can I ask a rapid-fire question?
Sure. You ask whatever you want.
It's going to be a rapid-fire question. I'll start with Petro. If Giannis and the Bucks do not win a championship or at least get to the championship this year, does Giannis on the Bucks next year? And if not, which team gets him?
I think Giannis doesn't. Does Giannis have one more year?
One more year.
One more year.
One more year.
And come to New York.
Oh, come on, Jim. Come on, Jimmy. Let's go.
You don't want
especially
that
now with this headache that he's headbutting.
I want Damian Lillard.
Yo, this guy can't even handle Mo Wagner in a bubble game, and you think that dude can handle New York? Guys are crazy.
True.
Guys are crazy. You don't want him anyway. He can't even shoot a jump shot. He's the most overhyped superstar in the league. He's good, but I would pick so many other guys over Giannis. It's
So
Jim,
Kurt, we can't.
what are you doing, Jim? Is he going to be there, or is he coming to New York or somewhere else?
he'll be
You know
a
what?
career Milwaukee.
I was
Buck.
happy with the move the other day that they got the recruiting guy from Kentucky because
Yep.
as an assistant coach.
Mr. Payne.
Yeah.
We're just gonna, you know what?
And Petro, Chris Shul's agreeing with you. If he headbutts in the bubble, he won't handle it.
I'm saying, listen, nah, he's soft, man. He's not built. He's not built for New York. There's just some guys that aren't built.
Damon Lillard's built for New York.
That's a bad man right there.
Devin Booker's built for New York.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kurt, we're not taking Giannis neither, right?
Listen, I would take him, but I'm
I
saying
take him. Yeah,
I'd
Kurt.
take him, but I mean,
Kurt, do you have any
He's my number
promos?
one choice.
I
Lillard's
feel
my
like we
number
haven't
one.
done promos in a long time.
you know what?
Kurt, here's a question for you.
Go ahead.
Right now, you could have LeBron for 3 years or Giannis for 5. Right now.
LeBron for 3.
Giannis
Because I agree with
for five.
Petro. I agree with you. And listen,
Jim, I'm going Giannis for 5.
Of course, you know, the Greek, he's a stud. But like you're saying, he can't hit a jump shot. You know, like, I don't know, man. Listen, I would gladly take him. But if you can give me LeBron 3, I'll take LeBron for 3. What would you do?
My thing about LeBron is he makes average guys around him better. You know what I mean? Dude, he made Tristan Thompson an automatic double-double every single game. He made J.R. Smith become an unselfish player to a team player. That's the kind of guy that you want leading your team. Giannis, yeah, he'll go out there and he'll get you his 28 and 12. But it's like I said, the Bucks road, it's so easy. And if that dude can't get through the East right now, when anybody ever said is LeBron, oh, it's the East, he should be doing this.
Yeah.
Well, how come they don't hold the same standards to him? Listen, I'll tell you what, another guy too, Kevin Durant. You come back next year with Kyrie Irving, you better be making it all the way to the championship, because you got your championships through Golden State joining super teams. So I don't know, man.
Hey, Kurt.
Yes,
Kurt.
sir.
Door just cracked open. What does that mean on Wednesday nights?
Hockey. Real quick before hockey, we got 2 minutes, Jim. Petro, start up. Give us your dynamic duels, and then we're talking hockey.
Okay. So I'll just go in order 1 through 5. My number 1 NBA duo, LeBron and Anthony Davis. Number 2, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Number 3, this is where it got tricky for me because I got to go KD and Kyrie. As long as those 2 guys are healthy, they're going to be very, very tough to stop. Number 4, I have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Splash Brothers. And number 5, I have Russ and Harden, because I don't think they get enough respect that they should get. But I don't have them in my top 3.
Kenny?
I went a little different. I went playoffs, so I got a couple that are going to be a little different.
Yeah, you're going
But I do have LeBron. I'll go 1 to 5 too. LeBron and Davis, number 1.
Okay.
Just like Petro said, Leonard and George, number 2. Then I go a little different. I got McCollum and Lillard are hot and just on fire, so they're number 3. Harden and Westbrook, number 4. And number 5, I hate to say this, but I got to throw them in there. Luka and Porzingis, number 5.
Chris Shul saying LeBron and Davis, Luka and Kristaps, Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, George, Mitchell, and what's his name?
Gobert,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one. No one said. I'm surprised. An underrated one is Jokic and Murray.
Yeah. Jim, what do you got?
Guys
Anything,
are good,
Jim?
man.
I got what Chris Shul said.
Okay, and I'm going to give you mine. I went in a little different order. I agree. I think LeBron and AD would be number 1 now in the playoffs, and again, it's why there's a lot of pressure on those guys. But I don't know. I'm going to go Curry and Clay. They've been there, done it together. Then I'm going to go Kyrie and KD. Again, both won titles. LeBron, AD. Again, you can't. I think those are 1, 2, 3 all together. And I got the same thing: Kawhi and Paul George and Harden and Westbrook. You know.
Yeah.
And then Damian Lillard and anybody who's next to him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Lillard and McCollum, I feel like is an underrated, under the radar. Damian Lillard,
All right, here's my
Even
question,
before-
Petro.
even before
Is it
now,
Lillard?
he-
Is it Lillard and McCollum, or is it Lillard and Melo?
it's Lillard and McCollum. It's Lillard and McCollum. I mean, listen, Carmelo's playing good ball, but I think Carmelo, his role, he has finally grasped that he doesn't need to be the guy. You know what I mean? I think Carmelo has finally, and I said in the beginning, I wanted the Lakers to go and get Carmelo Anthony so badly because, man, if you had Carmelo on that Laker team with LeBron and AD going to the hoop and then just dishing out to a
Totally
wide open
agree.
Carmelo,
Totally agree.
man, like think about it. They went and got Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith right now, and I like the Waiters move because Deion Waiters is a pretty scrappy player. He can play ball, but oh man, if you would have had Carmelo Anthony standing at that 3-point line. Oh, I think they would have been the easily hands down favorite to win the finals, the way Carmelo's playing right now.
Yep.
So if I'm Portland, Carmelo Anthony, you got to get him back next year. You got to try and do everything you can to get him back.
I want him.
Well, I know that's what you want.
Orange and blue, baby.
I know that's what you want, but Carmelo also, you know what? They did him dirty, man. And Carmelo, as much as he loved
but not these guys though. Big difference. Not these guys.
Who?
Not Leon Rose and West. Those are his boys.
But the owner is still there. That owner is still there.
Yeah,
hey, Nick, how about my Islanders?
Jim Time Warp went back to the future, grew some hair.
Yeah, Jim. This is the younger. This is like 17 again, like the movie.
Like Back to the Future.
What's going on, Mr. Nick? What's going on?
How are you guys?
Jim hopped in the DeLorean and gunned it to 88.
I think I've ever seen in terms of hockey.
All right. What do you got? Let's go. We got the set. I'm gonna put this. We're gonna call it the first round. It's really the first round, correct? Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes. Yeah. First. This is officially the first round.
All right. So officially the first round. Some big games already. The Avalanche. They scored 3 goals in about 2 minutes today.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you too. I don't know about you guys, but I was never really a big hockey guy, but I'm into it now. I really am. I'm into it.
Yeah, this year especially, I think with not having it for the whole summer, and now that there's like 5 or 6 games on every day, I'm in heaven.
Yeah, it's awesome. There was a game on 11 o'clock this morning.
Oh, it was incredible.
Boston, great
I
game.
had radio on at work. I was
great
listening
game.
to it.
Well, my first question for Nick is how much of that 6-hour game did you watch yesterday?
I watched until the end of double overtime, and I went out because I just assumed it wasn't going to last too much longer. I figured someone would be tired, and I came home and it was still going on, and I was shocked. I didn't keep up to date on it, but I got to see the last couple minutes of it, luckily, but. I've never been more surprised to see a game still going on. I was expecting to see the Bruins game starting.
Let me just ask you one quick follow-up question, and then I'll let Petro and Kurt take over. Would you rather see the shootouts or have those long overtime games like that? After maybe one overtime, would you rather see the shootout, or would you like to continue to see the overtimes?
I'd love the long overtimes. I think, especially. After seeing them play out in playoff games, and I just think there's something to it. The energy, it just shows so much more of a team's capability than the shootouts. I love the shootouts during the regular season, and it definitely goes for some really nice goals and some highlight reel plays. But if you really want to see the better team in a tight matchup, you need to go into those 5-round overtimes because, the Blue Jackets they're just such a solid hockey team. I don't think they don't make many mistakes, but Tortorella's really got them playing a tight system, and their goalie's been standing on his head lately. They went into 2 overtime games with the Leafs on Wednesday and Friday. I think one team, on Wednesday, the Blue Jackets were losing 3-0 in the third period, came back, won in overtime, and then on Friday, same thing happened, but Maple Leafs won in overtime to keep the series alive.
Okay.
And then the Blue Jackets go into another 5 overtime game with arguably one of the best teams in the league right now. It just goes to show you that they're not giving up, and they're definitely ready to take this to 7 games if it has to.
Petro, go ahead, Petro. What do you got for Nick?
Islanders. My big bet is so far looking good. They look awesome. I think they stole one from the Capitals because I was following it at work. They were down 2-0 early, and then they just exploded. And
Yeah, they look really good right now. It's been fun to watch them play. That's one of those series. I made a bracket for the playoffs, like officially.
I have it. Katie sent
Michael.
it to me. Yeah, Katie, I sent it to Kurt. So
Yep,
now
I'm gonna try
it
to
looks
get
like
it up.
it looks like your final completely changed. So
After watching the play-in rounds, it 100% changed.
Yeah.
But I mean, even like after the next couple of days, like it's gonna shift. I don't really think that like anyone could rightly predict the playoffs like knowingly.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the sport so much. I mean, like I never in a million years would have thought that Chicago and the Canadiens would be playing in this year's playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're playing tight games against the best teams right now. So it just goes.
Curdy's got your Avalanche getting bounced in the first
I
round.
know. I see that, Nick.
I think a couple months ago, before we knew when hockey was coming, I think I mentioned the Canadians, and Petro gave a large number out there, and we were joking around. I remember how they were huge, and now they're in. Watch out for those Canadians.
They look good. I mean, it's so hard to make these picks now because there are teams that played in the play-in rounds that look phenomenal, but they're playing against like some middle level teams. But it's once you get to see like how Philly or how Vegas stacks up against a team that low in the roster, like then we might see some wavering. But I don't know. It's still like even the Vegas Chicago game, I think it was 4-1, but it was still like a really good game to watch, and it wasn't a 4-1 game, but it ended up being that way.
By the way, Sickinger's good friend Gordy's yelling, he's saying his Islanders, and we'll get into this in a couple minutes, but we got a lot of Chris Schul and Paul Mulvaney all over Clint Frazier tonight. We're gonna get into that in a second, but they're all over that.
He's almost gonna. I think he's a triple away from the cycle right now.
So you're going. Double. Oh, I'm sorry, Petro.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So your final. So you're going. You're going Vegas, Philly in your final.
Yeah.
Right now.
It was
Vegas,
not a
baby like Vegas.
It's not something that I necessarily want to see. I have a very large dislike for Philly, being a Devils fan. But they look so good right now. It's so hard to not have them going, especially with their matchups. I think they're going to beat the Canadiens pretty quickly.
Okay.
I know they put up a fight against Pittsburgh, but I think Philly is a whole nother team this year.
Did you say you're a Devils fan?
Yeah, I'm a Devils fan.
From New Jersey.
We'll
you guys are. Yeah, I'm living in Maryland now, but I've always followed the Devils before I moved down here.
So let's do this. We got one more minute, Nick, and I want to get into one thing because the big news here, the New York Rangers get the #1 pick in the draft. Now, how did the Rangers get it? But I can't get it with the Knicks. We can't get it with the Knicks, but the Rangers get it.
Kurt, that's a sign, Kurt.
It's a sign, baby.
I never had the #1 pick with the Rangers, Kurt. It's coming.
What do you think, Nick? What do you think, Nick?
It's a New York year, baby.
All right. My twin brother is a diehard Ranger fan, so I've been hearing about it nonstop for the past couple of days. So I'm not happy that they get another All-Star player.
Is there a clear #1 pick in this year's draft?
Yeah, I honestly don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's like LaFontaine.
It's super Canadian. Like it's a super like French Canadian name. I think.
Young
I saw it the other day.
They
said can't pronounce the name. He's going to be an All-Star.
Supposed to be #1. It's supposed to be very good. He's supposed to be like.
He showed a lot of promise, but I mean, I think having two young cores is going to really spark the Devils-Rangers rivalry again. I think the Rangers are definitely a better team right now, but I think the Devils are going to pick it up in a couple of years because the Devils, like, we've been struggling a little bit with our size and our veterans have been leaving, so we don't really have, like, such a deep roster anymore, but we have a lot of young guys with a lot of skill that just need to get a little bit bigger and a little bit more used to playing in the league, and I think we'll be back to at least mid-tier team in a couple of years, which I'm hoping for.
Okay.
But the Rangers are looking really good next year. I think they're probably going to make the playoffs at least.
Alexis Lafreniere.
That's the stud?
Yeah, that's the guy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Come on, give us a little luck, baby. Like give us a New York, New York. Come on.
It's coming, Kurt.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, I mean their coach has done the rebuild so well. I think with the goalie Shesterkin taking over for Lundqvist, with Panarin now leading the offense. I'm honestly, like, I've never said this before, but I'm excited to watch the Rangers play.
That's big for you, right? That's big.
I hate saying it, but I really am. Like, they look phenomenal. I love Panarin. I was following him since he was on the Blackhawks in 2010. When he got drafted to the Blackhawks, he was one of my favorite players. So, I mean, I hate seeing him in a Rangers jersey, but I mean, like, the fact that I can go see him live now is incredible.
Okay. Nick, thank you very much. Anything else for Nick?
No, well,
Good, man. Go Islanders.
Job as always. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
right,
we'll say, you're every week now, Nick. So
yeah, I mean,
you're
there's a
every
lot
week,
of action
baby.
going on, so a lot to talk about.
That's it.
All right, thanks so much for having
You
me.
know what? I'm going to do something right on the spot, Kurt.
Go ahead.
When Beelan comes on, I want round 2. We're going to give Nick a second chance.
Right now? All right.
To
Okay.
get with
Let's
picks
do it.
tonight. So when Beelan comes on, get your picks ready. See who's playing tomorrow, Nick. Get them written down. We'll put you on for round
All right.
2.
Beelan's coming on in about 5-10 minutes. So
So if you want to go and check the games, and then when Beelan comes on, you can relate.
Yeah,
to Jim.
I'll go confer with Mr. Sickinger. And
there
see
you go. There you
That's
go.
it.
All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right.
You got it.
So we got a lot. We it's 9:15. We still got Beelan's coming on. We're opening up to the audience if we want to get a couple callers. We still got some baseball to talk about. What do you want to do, Kenny?
How long we got for Beelan?
Beelan's going to be coming on within 5 minutes.
Let's do a
I
little
would say.
trade. Let's do a little trade deadline when Jim comes back.
All right. Okay.
Or we could do a little, you know, like we. You know what? Let's do a little quick Yankee thing. Stanton getting hurt.
All
Let's
right.
do quick Yankees. Let's when Jim comes back in.
Okay.
He'll be in a minute. But I heard Stanton got hurt. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that, Petro?
It sucks because the thing that sucks about Stan is like it's, the first year when he was a Yankee, he actually had a pretty good year. It's just that year he didn't have Judge in the lineup for a lot of it, and he carried the Yankees. You know what I mean? Like, he had a really good year.
Yep.
Last year, the guy just couldn't stay healthy. It was a lot of core injuries and stuff like that, which stinks. And then this offseason, he comes in, he loses 20 pounds, he looks really good. He was hitting the ball all over the place. It wasn't just home runs. And it's just unfortunate that, the guy seems to, his body just doesn't agree with him. And it sucks because, he obviously wants to play, and it's not his fault that he got signed to a big contract. And yeah, the Yankees traded for him, but the Yankees, the deal was kind of too good to turn down. It was like we gave up minimal. The money to the Yankees isn't a big deal. I know everybody acts like it's, oh, well, you're paying them this much. Dude, who cares? It's not your money. So it's the Yankees. They're worth $5 billion.
What are we talking about, boys?
Quick hitter before we bring in Beelan.
Stan.
Guys,
So,
hold on,
Nick.
real quick, Kenny, real quick. Jim, Kenny made the official announcement that he said he wants to give Nick another crack at Beelan tonight. But Beelan just texted me while he's in the waiting room. He's saying that he wants to do Friday's game because there's only 6 games tomorrow. So it's going to be Friday's game, Jim, just to let Nick know.
So
All
they're
right.
teaming
He's out
up there. And we're doing a quick hitter, Jim. We're talking about Giancarlo Stanton.
Nick Friday's game. It's a full slate on Friday.
I just think it sucks because it seems like things were starting to turn around, and I think not a lot of pressure with the fans in the stadiums was definitely helping him because it looked like he was very
That's
comfortable
Stan?
at the plate and set. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it stinks. It's the good thing is that it's a grade 1, so it's an easy. It's not like one that seems like it's going to be a long recovery to come back from. I think the way that it's set up right now with the way the Yankees are playing, you could rest them even a little bit longer because, I mean, let's give Clint Frazier a look. Listen, the thing about Clint Frazier is his fielding, okay? Everybody says he's not a very good fielder, but now we have a DH who just hit the shelf. So now we could play Talkman all the time in the field. You could rotate Hicks and Gardner in the field when it's, matchup-wise for lefties and righties or whatever. Well, Talkman's a lefty, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so, there's your lefty bat. And then, you know what I mean? Clint Frazier can go in there and just take hacks at the ball. And I mean, listen, everyone's going to jump the gun because of how good of a game he's having. It's his first game. And you know what I mean? Everyone's got to relax a little bit, but we all know that Clint Frazier can hit the ball. That hasn't been the issue with Clint Frazier.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to be able to make the coach feel comfortable putting you in the field. There's been games when Clint Frazier's out there that, man, he looks like he's wearing rollerblades in the outfield, man. It is, like, weird. Like, you're a major league caliber player. Like,
yeah, but you know what the problem is, Mike? You know what? For years, in Clint Frazier, and this happens with kids coming up, is that, you know what? He'd rather spend more time in the batting cage than going out there working on the other parts of his game.
Agree.
And I agree.
Up with him, and he's a cocky little bastard. And
he
you know what?
They
banished him last year. They banished him.
Jim, we got a question from Chris Shaw, and we were talking about Stanton. He was saying body breaking down due to steroids.
No, I don't think so. You know what? I know. One of my kids played with him in the Marlins organization, and he just has one of those type of bodies. He's not a big weightlifting guy per se, but you know, I really think, you know, and the way his lower body keeps breaking down and the problems that he's having. You know what? I'm no genius, but you know what? Is he doing enough, whether it's Pilates, stretching, you know, stuff? You know, there's a reason why these things keep happening, you know?
Sure.
But
sometimes
the
it's those
shame
little
of it
things.
is, you know what? And we said this too. We dumped all that money, Kenny, and we wanted prime years. And then whatever he gave us at the end, we would take. These are his prime years right now, and he's sucking. You know, he's not giving us what we need.
No.
You know what? All right. And you know what? Everybody's kind of happy in the beginning. You got a couple big knocks, hit some homers that, you know, almost went out of Washington Stadium. But once again, and I do say this, and I mean this, there's superstars and there's good players. And the superstars are the guys, and Kurt always brings this up, and we say that 2 outs, runner on second, third base, they drive that run in.
Yep.
You know what? And I'll go back in my mind, and I'll think of a guy like Donnie Mattingly. Would always get that, you know, more than often than not, Donnie would drive in that run. Clutch hitter, you know, doing a good job. These guys just aren't as clutch. You know what? They don't have that. They say it's a clutch gene, right? That there's certain guys, you plug them in, they're going to get that run, and they're going to do what they have to do. I just feel, you know what? I want Stanton to do good because he's on my favorite team, but I'm really having a hard time liking him right now. But you know what? You know who I like? I like Mike Ford. Give him some at-bats, because when they do trade him, Mike Ford's going to be a 20-homer guy for like the Detroit Tigers, wherever he gets traded. You know what? We have enough parts. We got to play these kids to see what they can do, and then if we're going to trade them, we're going to trade them.
I mean, this is the perfect, you know, like it's kind of a scenario for that works both ways in our favor. You know, like we're going to get to see. This is not only a time where you get to see what Clint Frazier can do for us, but if we want to make a trade for an arm, and Clint Frazier shows that he could be an everyday outfielder and he can make an impact on another team, it helps the Yankees a lot in that sense too, because, you know what I mean? Like, we can go and say, you know what, maybe we don't want to give you Andujar and Clint Frazier, but we'll give you Clint Frazier, who just showed you that for an entire month, he could be a starting outfielder and make an impact in your lineup. And Trevor Bauer would absolutely elevate our rotation, which I think it's going to be this is the time, man. You know, like everyone has been saying, well, where's Clint Frazier? Where's Clint Frazier? You're going to see him now. And now's the time for him to either get his act together and be a pro and go out there, because he's going to get at-bats pretty much every day, I would think. So now's the time. I'm pulling for him. Listen, I like the kid. I like arrogance and cockiness and all that. I love it, man. Like, let him go, man. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, now's the time. They made it because, you know what they could have done if they really didn't want Clint Frazier called up. They could have said, you're staying, and we're going to call Andujar back up, and Andujar's going to get the at-bats and not you. But, you know, they did the right thing, and they called up Frazier. So we'll see.
Kenny, we got a caller coming in.
Quick, I got Paul in the waiting room. I just brought John in. Okay. Paul wants to talk some more about Clint Frazier. Paul, if you can hang on for a few minutes, After John's Beelan segment, we'll get you on in if you mind waiting for a couple minutes. We appreciate it.
What's going on, Mr. Beelan?
John's on first with his Beat Beelan, but we're going to get Paul in to talk a little more about Clint Frazier and the Yankees in about 5-10 minutes.
Hold on.
Kurt, what do we do? We have Johnny Beelan.
That's some ass kicking the Yankees are giving the Braves tonight.
Bro, Asuna's not playing.
Bro.
I'm over.
We don't have Judge.
Ready?
Judge.
All right, here we go, Mr. Beelan. By the way, this is now 2-1, Mr. Beelan. 2 weeks in a row.
We're going to do 2 for 1, guys. I'm going to bring Paul in since we're bashing John with the Braves. We got to bring in one more Yankee fan.
Okay, we're going to see what Paul has a question tonight. I think I know where he's going to go.
Yeah, we'll get Paul. Let's do Paul's question first, and then we'll do Beelan.
Fine, we'll do
you
Paul.
Hang on, right? A couple minutes, John?
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, what's going on, Paul? What do you got?
He is so good.
Yeah, I tried
what are you in the office?
Oh, by the way, on our fantasy baseball league, which we don't talk about on the show, Petro's in first. I'm in second.
I had a rough week. I haven't been on a computer.
I'm in third.
Kenny's bringing up the rear.
All right,
I got to get back into it.
Mr. Paul, what do you got for us, Mr. Paul?
I
know where you're going.
Yeah. I'm sick of reading my own Facebook post about Stanton. So I feel about Stanton like Jim does about Sanchez. Just put it in a nutshell. I don't think this guy's ever going to be a regular contributor. This guy, late season and a short season, couldn't even last 2 weeks and couldn't even advance the second on a wild pitch. I don't think this guy's going to make it. He'll get his money.
I think we're sharing the same brain. I think Paul and I are sharing the same brain. I'm going to let Paul talk. I'm just going to stay back here because my brain is going down right into Paul's head. We are on the same page there, my friend.
Go Clint Frazier, 3 for 3 today. I'm sure guys know that. But if we had did that worst Yankee
we're losing
bracket
is
today,
he down in Maryland?
I'm putting Stanton in that Final Four.
He's saying he's putting Stanton. He would put Stanton in that Final Four. Real quick, Petro. I know. I don't know if Paul heard because he was probably on hold. But I know you and Jim are and Kenny. You guys are all the Yankee fans. So I want to give you 3 guys a minute. Beelan's going to be quiet because he's a Brave fan. I'll be quiet. So I want to go. We'll go Petro, Kenny, and then Jim. Minute each. Real quick. One more final word on Stanton.
And like I said, in his first year, everyone talks about Stanton had a good year in his first season with the Yankees. He had no Judge protecting him in the lineup, and he carried us when it was no one really in that lineup to protect him. So it sucks. But the guy obviously wants to play. He was a great player not a great player. He was a good player on the Marlins. It was a no-brainer to make that deal for Miami. Listen, one rule that I know is I don't count another dude's pockets ever. I don't care about the money. We shouldn't care about the money. There's no salary cap in baseball. The Yankees can afford anybody that they want. They've proven it year in, year out. The money, yeah, it sucks. But you know what I mean? It's like these things happen. We're going to have him back with a little time left in the season, hopefully. They can rest him if they want to because the Yankees are going to get into the playoffs regardless. So they'll get him his at-bats when he comes back. This is put up or shut up time for Clint Frazier, like I said, because as good as he is in batting, the guy wears rollerblades in the outfield. He can't even field the fly ball. So let's see. Because I want Clint Frazier to do well because I want to trade him for Trevor Bauer. That's what I want the Yankees to do.
Jim? What do you think, Stanton? Paul has the question with Stanton.
Well, Stanton, yes, he does. Is my Gary? Well, Paul, just to let you know, I released Gary Sanchez in my fantasy league, and no one picked him up.
What does that say to you?
That no one picks him up. That says a lot.
Sanchez is going to have about 300 and have.
That's all right. Yeah, you know what? I did it for the good. I did it for the good of the Yankees because the Jim Sickinger fantasy kiss of death. Either you suck or you have a career-ending injury. If I pick you on my fantasy team. So I decided to let him go for the good of the Yanks. Well, if you're Stanton, what's his job right now, Johnny Beelan? DH, right? What are DHs supposed to do, Johnny Beelan? Hit the ball, right? So if you don't hit the ball and you're a DH and you're leaving your glove in your locker, and you got to do one thing and do it well, and you're not, that's a problem. You know what? say what you want. I'll take young, hungry ball players. I'll take a Mike Tauchman. I'll take a Mike Ford. I'll take a Clint Frazier. I'll take young, hungry guys who run the ball out hard, hustle, take pride in their 5 tools. Now, Michael was right. When Clint Frazier came up, he was a butcher. But you know what? I think message was received last year when they just banished his ass in the 7th ring of Dante's Inferno down there in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. You know what? And said, listen, we're calling everybody up but you, and your ass is going to rot down there because you're a cocky little bastard and you're not getting with the program. Message received. Now, this is his put up or shut up time. Let the kid just DH. Let him get in there and get some hacks. And like you said, it's a small sample size, but either he's going to be your guy or you're going to trade him. And that's it. You know what? Because now you watch every kid that comes out of the Yankee bullpen now, one's more impressive than the next. You know what? So, you know, if we're looking for a frontline starter, don't trade any of these prospects. We got some chips that we can trade because we have some real good young pitching. And they're not even touching the 3 best kids they have down in their minor league system.
Kenny,
they're stowed away.
I'm sorry, Kenny. I'll ask you and ask Paul, and then Paul's going to run. But and I agree with Jim, how you're saying. I want the hungrier guy. I want the guy that's going to hustle. I agree with you. But here's the thing. When Stanton comes back, because of that money, because of the money Petro talked about, okay, Kenny, is he just forced in that lineup? Oh, Stanton's back. He's got to play. That's the question.
I got 2 words. I got one word for you. Ellsbury juiced up. That's what it looks like we're watching. But all joking aside,
mystery injury.
This is the reason why we asked this question last week. Why is Frazier in the minors? Why are we not trading Frazier? Why are we not trading Frazier? This is why Frazier is there, because of Judge's injuries and Stanton's injuries. You know, it's different from Stanton. Judge is a hustle, you know, unfortunate injuries, but you got 2 guys that are always
Paul started
injured.
with that one too.
You got 2 guys that are always injured.
Paul called it. Paul called that.
This is the reason why Frazier's still on the team, Kurt. So let's see what Frazier can do now. Now it's an open audition. Tauchman and Frazier. I love Tauchman.
Right.
Okay. We didn't have Stanton all last year. Look how far we went.
Here's my 2 cents in this. You're right. Tauchman, Frazier. The other guy is the other Cashman guy, Hicks. See ya. Get him out of there. That lineup should be Frazier, Tauchman, Judge, Gardner. Those are the guys. He should never. You know, when you play Hicks, when you're up 1 run, let him play center field and make a defensive play.
Question, Kurt. He's going to be back in the lineup when he comes.
Hey, Paul.
I'll let Paul finish off because I know
Paul, question. How much we pay LeMahieu next year?
Are you going to be able to pay him?
Of course you could pay him. There's no salary.
For those $13 beers.
You try and sign him for a few years. Try and do, you know, he's 31 or so.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't want to give him no 8-year deal. But, you know, the Stanton thing, and Judge isn't playing tonight. Just say he's got something, stiffness, or don't think we're out of the woods with Judge either. He's still a walking time bomb with his injuries. The Stanton contract is just an abomination. You got 7 more years of this guy. You cannot trade him. Not only does he have a no trade, no one's going to take him on. Nobody's going to want him. He's got the opt out after this year. He's not going to go anywhere because he knows he can't get more anywhere. So the thing I've been telling everybody is just get used to number 27 being there if he's not on the field. But they may just end up doing the Ellsbury, like, we'll pay you, but just go the hell away type of deal. Yeah. I don't think he's going to play this year, and I think his role is very limited going forward. You know, I don't see him as having a big future here.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I agree.
Well, anything else, Paul, before I know you got to run? We want to thank you for coming on tonight.
I said my piece.
That's it.
By the way, you in a doctor's
office? I like
it. Is Paul in a doctor's office? Looks like he's in a doctor's office.
I don't have COVID, but I'm very nauseous right now.
That's what happens when you come on K&K. Kurt makes you nauseous.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thanks for joining.
Thank you,
I feel
Paul.
better after venting, so thanks for letting me vent.
Thank you, Paul.
Anytime.
Thanks, guys.
Paul was always on Judge. All right, Mr. Beelan, you know what? We were going to see who wanted to take you, but Kenny, of course, makes all the decisions here. And Kenny's given Nick another crack.
She had such a heartbreaking defeat. We got to give him a second chance. Got to give him a second chance. I think he deserves it.
By the way, I give you credit, Beelan. Oh, by the way, Beelan, next Thursday, we start our Wits and Wager show, Beelan. Like, really legitly start it. Early. Thursdays at 6.
Real quick, bold predictions for the Yankees next year. Sanchez is gone.
Good.
Realmuto is going to be the new catcher.
Woo!
Okay. And LeMahieu is leaving, and he's going to get a monster contract from somebody else because he was going to want more money. He's 31 years old, going to be 32 at the end of the year. Yankees are going to give him like a 3 to 4 year deal. If he can get like a 7-year deal from somebody, he's going.
But who's coming up, though, to take his spot?
Who cares?
You don't want to get – listen, LeMahieu's the Yankee – if
the Yankees got rid of Didi because they had Torres. Who's going to take –
Oh, yeah, Torres is not going to cover off the ball this year.
I agree with a lot of things you say, John, but I'm disagreeing with you on that one. LeMahieu's a Yankee.
Someone offers him a 6 or 7 year guarantee contract in the $25-30 million range. Guarantees leaving. Because the Yankees are not offering. Yankees are only offering like 3 to 4 years.
How bad, hey guys? How bad do I look? I picked this guy to win MVP. He's batting. What is he batting? 161.
We got Sanchez. We have Sanchez under team control for another 3 years. That dude ain't going nowhere.
Chris Shula is saying the Angels will overpay for LeMahieu.
I
can see a team like that.
The Red Sox,
the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Angels. Yeah. Who's is he going to pitch for them too?
I agree with Petro. Come on, LeMahieu's a Yankee next year.
All you talk about is how pitching, and you want the Angels to load up on batting and what?
But that's why the Angels stink.
Let's talk about this in a minute because we need Jim in on this. So let's get Nick's picks.
Okay.
Let's do the picks and then let's get Jim in on this because Jim needs to be in on this LeMahieu talk.
All right, go ahead. All right, so Petro, I'm sorry, Beelan, you got Friday's games we're going, right?
Friday's games. Yeah, Thursday there's only 6 games tomorrow, so it doesn't make any sense to do 6 games.
Okay. So what do you want to go first?
I Steve's Burgers the other day. That place looked good.
Got to go there.
What's the gift card this week? Is it the same thing?
It's going to be Trevoni's.
Okay.
No one's
beating you for it.
Trevoni's is tough to get. We're going to get it this week.
Beelan, I would tell you I'll go to lunch with you tomorrow, but I got work.
Jim, if you go, you definitely should go to Steve's this week. And if you go to Steve's, you should get the Wacky Jackie, and just thank me later.
All right.
And look at the K&K flyer Jen put up on the wall.
Yeah.
You know what? Tomorrow sounds like a good day.
She snuck up on me when I was there.
That's it. All right, here we go. Who you got Friday night? I'm gonna read you the games. All right, I'll read you the game real quick. You guys pick it. John, you go first, then Nick. Here we go.
Nah, let Nick go first.
All right, Nick, you go first. Here we go. Rays at Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
Beelan?
I'm taking Blue Jays.
Okay, Red Sox at Yankees.
Sox.
He's going Red Sox.
He's a Red Sox fan, John. He's a Red Sox
fan. Out of my house.
Yankees. Cole's going to give up 1 run in the first inning, and then the rest of the game is going to be fine.
All I know is I love when I get the text every night. Paxton.
What
did I tell you? It'll be 3-0.
Yo, yeah, man. How did Bumgarner look the other night, Kurt?
I still get Bumgarner.
Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna get into that.
We'll get into it. All right, Mets at Phillies.
I can't wait for that.
Mets at Phillies.
Makes
Beelan?
sense. They can't give DeGrom run support.
Taking DeGrom and the Mets. Let's go.
Pirates at Reds.
Pirates.
Beelan?
Taking my boy Sonny Gray, the Yankee killer.
Yeah, he killed him. Cleveland at Detroit.
Hold on, I have this set. Cleveland.
Same here, Cleveland.
Okay.
Unless their pitching staff goes out into town.
Beelan's Atlanta Braves at the Marlins.
I have Braves also.
We know John's
Beelan.
Taking the Braves. I was actually thinking about taking Detroit, but I heard that my boy Acuna's coming back, so we'll see.
Washington. Oh, this is the Kenny Kirkpatrick showdown. Washington at Baltimore.
Washington.
Oh, I'm taking the Birds on this one. Let's go.
Oh.
Strasburg looks like trash.
He's on my fantasy team. Cardinals at the White Sox. Well, if they play, we'll say that they're playing. So.
I got the Cardinals.
Yes, sir. Cardinals all day.
All right. Kansas City.
After a 3-week layoff, huh?
How many times does Kansas City play the Twins? It's like they play every day. Kansas City at Minnesota.
The White Sox might be a good bet tomorrow.
I got the Twins.
Cardinals haven't played in 2 weeks.
Twins
Should
as
be
well.
fresh.
Twins, Beelan?
Twins.
Yeah, just not to cut you up, but Kenny, you want to hear a crazy stat? All the teams that have been on bye so far this year, they have a combined record of like coming back on the first series of games. They come back at like 20-2.
Wow.
As their series wins.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I think it'd be the opposite.
Nah, the Marlins went on a 6-game tear.
True.
Milwaukee at Chicago Cubs.
Chicago.
I got Chicago.
Both Cubs?
Yeah, Cubos.
All right. Rangers at Rockies.
Rockies.
Boy.
This was a tough one for me, but Kenny's been drilling the Rockies in my head. Like
me, Kenny and me.
As long as Blackman is in the game,
yep.
It's the Rockies every day.
All right, Mariners at Petro's favorite team, the Houston Astros.
I'm going with the Astros.
Yeah, I'm going with them.
No, it's not a popular pick, but
not a guarantee these days with the Astros.
Nope.
The hot Padres at the Diamondbacks.
I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks.
Ooh.
I like a good underdog.
I'm taking my boy Lamet at home. I'm taking the Padres.
All right, 2 more. Dodgers at Angels.
Dodgers.
Yeah, taking Kershaw.
And the last game, the A's at the Giants.
I got Giants for that one.
Okay.
Let's go with the A's, baby.
Give us a run total.
A's.
Oh yeah, run. Give us a run total.
What game?
We're gonna go. I'll pick the game.
I'll pick.
All right, go ahead, Petro. Pick it.
Petro loves this. He's gonna pick the worst game.
Do the Rockies, because that's a high scoring one.
Nah, I want to go Pirates Reds.
Pirates Reds.
5.
Oh, good. I'm gonna pick 6.
All right,
All
Nick.
right.
Thank you.
There we go, Nick.
We're gonna get to a win, Nick. We're gonna do it. We're gonna pull this one through.
Let's go. Let's beat Beelan.
Let's win this one.
Thanks
right,
again
Nick.
for having me.
See you, bud.
Take care.
Yeah,
Now we're
by
gonna
the
do
way,
some trade
I need 2 more in the 13-run pool, baby. Let's go.
Those are tough ones, though.
Yeah,
You wanna
12
hang
and
around? We're
13.
gonna do a little trade deadline stuff. Some
All
trade.
right, we're gonna do a little trade deadline.
You hanging around, John, or you
Yeah.
gotta go?
No, let's go.
No,
Let's do it.
Beelan's staying. And Beelan again next Thursday, 6:00. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna break some news here tonight, Jim. September 3rd, we're doing our Carney Fantasy Football Draft. We're gonna do it live. Did you get the message today?
That's too much garbage. You know what? Everybody, just let me know what I have to do.
That's it. But we're gonna be live, and Merlo wants draft. He wants us to have like people to critique us right on the air. So Petro, Kenny, Beelan, if you guys want to be with us, he wants people every round to critique us. What was good, what was bad. So we'll talk to you guys
no
if
problem.
you guys want
No
to do
problem. Jim, I'll be your consigliere also.
There you
on
go.
the draft.
There you go.
Listen, I get a lot of shit for my picks. One year I
All
picked
right.
4 quarterbacks.
You're smart.
The first.
You're smart. You're smart. You're smart. You take all
Just draft
cheap.
every chief.
He did.
Yeah.
He does.
I did.
That's what he does,
Yeah.
Beelan.
That's smart.
I do.
So-
They make fun of me. That's
You're
all right.
smart. All right, Kenny,
You
go
have a
ahead.
good time.
Go ahead, run it.
Let's do a little trade deadline. I think that's.
Oh, well, here we go with trade deadline.
You
Chris Schultz.
mentioned it earlier in the week. I love it.
Kenny,
So-
Chris Schultz throwing one right out. And
No.
Duhar and Garcia for Bauer.
No.
Who was it, Kurt? I missed that.
And Duhar and Garcia for Bauer.
One or the other. One or the other for Bauer. Since
Not
it's a short
both.
season, you're not going to get many starts from the guy, even in the playoffs.
Oh.
One or the other.
You want Trevor Bauer or James Paxton?
Paxton looked good the other night.
I was just going to get into Chris. If you're still listening, which I hope you are, I was going to start off. Let's play a little role play. You're Brian Cashman. I'll start with Jim. Okay? Let's just go around the horn. One guy you're going to target for this year's trade deadline, and then who would you have to give up for him?
I think the Yankees are going to target Matthew Boyd, pitcher for the Tigers. I think they want to get another lefty because J.A. App sucks.
Yeah, he's done. He's never going to pitch for us again, I don't think, actually.
When I look at a guy pitching and thinking, man, at 55, I can do better than this freaking clown, I'm saying to myself, he needs to go. He has no nutsack, that guy. He's just tough to watch. So I don't even know if I'd throw his ass in the bullpen. Get him the hell out of here. Matthew Boyd, left-hander. I like him for Detroit. I don't think we're going to have to give up an awful lot for him. You know what? I mean, Detroit's got a young team to start off with, so they're just going to be looking for building pieces and stuff like that. So you might be able to get away with a Mike Ford, an Andujar, stuff like that. But Davy Garcia, now a lot of these younger arms, just let them eat. Let them stay down there. We're good. We got a lot of young guys who can throw. You know what? Save that for the big, whatever the big fish is out there. But I'm going Matt Boyd pitcher. That's going to be my number one.
Fair enough. Then Kurt.
And you know what? Hold on, Kenny. Kenny, 1 second. If the son of a gun with the earphones and the microphone, if he mentions Madison Bumgarner, I'm hitting pause and I'm driving over his house. I'm going to strangle him with that thing. Because Madison Bumgarner got every part of his body lit up like a Christmas tree the other day. And he looked like a bitch coming out of the game.
And he's on the IL.
And
he's on the IL now because he has arm discomfort.
Yeah.
5 years, $85 million.
Yeah, Kurt.
For a guy who has arm discomfort in his 4th game of the season.
Okay.
Over 50 pitchers are on the IL right now.
I want audience participation too. If they're Brian Cashman, who are we going for?
By the way, Richie Katwink is saying, I told you Mad Bum was done.
Thank you, Rich.
Yes, absolutely. Let's turn it to Petro. Who's your target? I think I know where you're going.
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
If it's not Trevor Bauer, the only pick that I think it's interesting because, so Stroman, he hung around long enough that this year he didn't opt out in the beginning. So because he stayed on so long on IL, this counted as a season. So now he's officially a free agent next season. Mm-hmm. So, and you could always opt back into the season. So I think Stroman from the Mets might be a listen, Marcus Stroman's a really good pitcher.
I don't think the Mets would do it though.
Why?
Because I think
he's not. I don't think he's going back there.
No, but I just think for the Mets to help the Yankees, I mean, they would want like 2 top prospects for that.
It would never happen though. It's not realistic. They wanted Gleyber Torres for Syndergaard. I don't know how true those rumors were, and we wouldn't even do that. So I think if we could give up, listen to me, everyone was just on this panel. Paul Mulvaney was talking about he was sitting there happy as a clam about Clint Frazier. If I can give up Clint Frazier for Marcus Stroman or Trevor Bauer, I'm doing it in an absolute heartbeat.
So am I.
Heartbeat. So those are my 2 guys.
High on Stroman. I don't know. That's
what, John? What?
Bauer in a second.
I just to follow up for Petro, I just think that Frazier is so much more valuable than you really think. And that's why they're keeping him around and not trading him because of situations like of Stanton going down, of Judge going down, of Gardner going down, whoever it may be. I would trade a Duhar before I would trade Clint Frazier. That's just
I agree with that 100%. And the way these outfielders get hurt,
yeah,
right. But how long is this kid going to put up with this shit? I mean, granted, he's under them. He's going to do what they tell him to do. But,
Who, Frazier?
What are they going to do? Sit and go, hey, listen, Gardner's getting a little long in the tooth. He'll be gone next year. We'll slot you into one of the outfield positions. You'll be either a 3rd or 4th outfielder.
Listen, some people love just to be a Yankee. I mean,
that's true too. His favorite player was Mickey Mantle.
Guys, I want to read a couple comments real quick because I believe Richie's saying this comment for to Petro saying, of course you would for Bauer, but not for Stroman. He's saying he would not trade him for Stroman.
No, I wouldn't trade him for Stroman.
And then
if it comes to boosting, you guys see, if it comes playoff time, like I don't care if I have to give up Clint Frazier to win a World Series. It's not going to hurt me whatsoever.
Petro,
I said
what
that
happens
weeks ago?
But what happens? Say right now, Stanton's done for a month, right? We're just saying a month, right? Worst case scenario. Now, what if Judge goes down for a month?
But you could get an outfielder. You can get so many outfielders now. Come on.
Who?
I mean, not for nothing. Mike Tauchman is
right. Exactly. He might be your best.
So you have Mike Tauchman,
but you haven't seen him.
Well, we just went over this, Kurt. You were mentioning how bad Hicks is, and now
listen, Hicks would never. I wouldn't. Hicks would not be my starter. Absolutely, Hicks would be when I'm up one, put him in the outfield to play defense. He would, and they batting him first and third.
Yeah,
I mean that's out of their minds.
Listen,
guys, we didn't have Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton in the lineup at one point last year for like half a season. So and we were a bad pitch away from going Game 7 in the ALCS. So, it's not that crazy to think that we can't survive. We're one of the best teams in baseball right now. Gleyber Torres can't even hit a ball with a tennis racket right now.
Let me say this:
he's got a couple knocks tonight.
If I'm Cashman, I am trading Gary Sanchez for JT Realmuto.
You ain't getting Gary Sanchez.
Kurt, real fast. Let me say who
and picks and whatever he may do.
Sleeper pick, and it would cost nothing for the Yankees to bring him on the Yankees. Trade with the Marlins right now. Bring Francisco Cervelli back. It would cost you absolutely nothing.
I don't.
I can't trust him, and we know we can't trust Sanchez.
I think Sanchez will come around.
Listen, Sanchez. Here's the thing.
But he's an injury away too from being
terrible.
Everybody's an injury away though.
But Beelan, this is where I agree with Beelan. How Beelan puts his hands up and he's saying terrible. Double that, because in the playoff game, in the playoffs teams, it's a joke. He strikes out every time.
I want Jim's thoughts on Cervelli.
242 batting average, guys. 242.
He stinks.
Now,
he's terrible.
When you're brought up through the system and you're known as an offensive catcher,
right?
Which Sanchez was, and his defense was awful. He killed Sonny Gray. He took Sonny Gray's heart and just flushed it because he couldn't block the balls in the dirt. Now they got a guy who can't hit. He's fucking sorry, beep. He's lost in the box. So you get me fired up. He's lost in the box. I don't care he had a homer tonight. He's lost in the box. They got him doing this one-knee catching crap. He's a lazy sack of shit back there. Over the past 4 or 5 games, I've seen more pass balls because he can't block. Listen, nobody on, nobody out. You want to lay on your stomach and receive the ball. I don't care, Gary. The minute somebody gets on base, get into a damn crouch and block the ball.
See, Jim, I want to interrupt because Rich Gatwick, again, has the best comment of the night. Cashman isn't trading Sanchez unless someone gives them 2 Torres types. He overvalues everyone. And he does. He overvalues everybody.
Listen, he's a 242 batting average, right?
Right.
What is he going to get
He's hurt every single year.
Exactly. And in the playoffs, he does nothing. See, I'm sorry, but
Petro catcher by the trade deadline.
No. But John, but Kenny, you said before, and Petro answered. He said, for win a World Series, I would trade Frazier. To win a World Series, I trade Frazier and Duhar. Who cares? Get your World Series. You guys laughing, but I'm sorry. My number 2, Cole, wait. Cole is a stud, okay? Cole is a stud. He's proven. After that, listen, maybe I'll go with Tanaka. Okay, I'll give you guys that. Otherwise, I want nobody on that pitching staff. You ask me who you would get, I would take, and Petro, you're the one that said before, I don't care about money. Call up San Francisco, Johnny Cueto. Proven in the postseason, he would be your number 2 tomorrow. You're saying you don't want Bob
No, he wouldn't. Stop it, Kurt.
Who would?
Stop with this nonsense.
Who would?
No, he wouldn't be our number. Masahiro Tanaka is our number
2.
Okay.
He absolutely is.
Cueto or John?
Not even close.
John, hold on. Paxton or Cueto?
Cueto.
Paxton.
Cueto.
If he gets screened out. if you get straightened out.
Kurt, Masahiro Tanaka's
What do you have?
postseason.
12 strikeouts against the Rays, and then he made 2 bad pitches.
Masahiro Tanaka has a 1.76 ERA in the postseason. 1.76 in the postseason. They don't hit him.
Hold on. To back up my thing even more, he's had 60 pass balls in 5 years. Terrible defensive catcher.
Because you know what? Cashman, again, the same thing. Remember, who's the other guy?
Terrible.
Here comes the best lefty we got, Greg
Move
Bird.
on.
Where's Greg
Move
Bird?
on.
Greg Bird.
He just got DFA'd by the Texas Rangers.
Right. Greg Bird's playing as much as Beelan this year. He's, again, overrated.
Ouch.
Terrible. Him and Sanchez, terrible. Judge is going to be the next guy. You want to give him $40 million because he hits home runs and sells Jersey Mike subs?
Kurt, you didn't answer my question, though. You need to
I'm
answer.
not agreeing to
What's
Judge.
your question?
You didn't answer it.
What is it?
You're Brian Cashman. Who are you trading for at the deadline? And
Johnny Cueto. I just told you, Johnny Cueto.
Johnny Cueto.
At least he didn't say Bumgarner.
No, or Bumgarner. I want a proven guy in the playoffs. You guys want Michael Boyd.
No.
What the hell has he pitched in Babe Ruth League? What is
We
he
need a
pitched?
backup catcher
What
more
is
than
he
any
pitching?
pitcher
No, you
right
need a
now.
pitcher.
Belly, bring him for
Pitcher.
nothing.
Pitcher.
Yeah, you're talking bad contracts. Johnny Cueto
So what?
is owned. Johnny Cueto. So what?
So what?
The
You're
guy-
saying money doesn't matter.
But the guy is coming off of Tommy John surgery. He didn't pitch a single game last year.
I'd rather have
He's
Samardzija
still-
than
He's
Cueto.
still better. But you're getting, Kenny, you're getting guys that never have proven anything. I want a proven guy, man. Postseason
What has
pitcher.
Cueto?
Go get him.
What has Cueto
What is
proven in the
Cueto? He
postseason?
won a World Series with Kansas City. He was a stud. in
How
that-
long
in that
ago?
thing.
Stop
3
this
years
nonsense.
ago? 3 years ago?
You can't get a
want-
word in with Kurt tonight when he's
No,
ranting.
but it's
Because
true.
I'm going to make him rant and rave even more. I'm not giving up on Paxton. He had 12 strikeouts against the Rays the other day. 12.
Your guys are
Boone
You know
left
why?
him in
'Cause
too
he
long.
said his spin rate was up. Isn't that awesome?
One mistake. Boone left him in too long. That was the problem.
Thank you, man.
You're again. And think about, you talk about, look at the wasted money. Hold on. You guys talk about wasted money. J.A. Happ wasted money. Paxton wasted money. You're still paying Ellsbury money. Paxton's not wasting money.
No.
Last year's play. Let's talk when playoffs come, Kurt. If he goes into a playoff game and throws out 5 runs in the first inning, I'll tell you.
No. Not 5 runs in an inning. He
Let me
better
finish.
go 5 innings.
Let me
He's got to
finish.
go 5 innings.
Let me finish.
5 innings.
Let me finish. You're not letting me finish.
You're getting paid. You're getting paid
not
as
letting
a
me-
1-8-2
I'm just going to
starter.
interrupt him. He's going to be talking. I'll interrupt him at the same time. If Paxton does garbage in the playoffs, I will come on the air and say it was a waste.
John.
But if Paxton does good in the playoffs, you better come on and say Paxton.
John, listen to this, and I know Paul was on before, but we talked about Cashman. Your pitching.
This is what I see with Kurt. This is Kurt.
But John, your pitching rotation, and Richie just said it could have been Corbin, okay? Corbin, Verlander, okay? You got J.A. Happ, Sonny Gray, and James Paxton.
Yeah, it could have been Corbin and Verlander. Hey, why don't we get Clayton Kershaw,
bad
Max
is that?
Scherzer, and
How
Steven
bad
Strasburg
is
too?
that?
Yeah, how about Richard Katwinka picks his fantasy team, and that could be our starting.
But wait,
rotation.
but you could have
guys,
signed
this
Corbin.
is like so. This
But
is
you
so
couldn't-
ridiculous.
wait, you couldn't have
This
got
is so-
Corbin?
Yeah, Verlander too. Verlander too.
But you
Should
could have got Verlander. You took Sonny Gray instead. You had him.
Should we have tried to trade for Clayton Kershaw too?
No, but
maybe
wait.
we should have tried to put in for Max Scherzer. What do you
Where
think,
is he
Beelan?
going
Should we have
south?
tried?
Well, how'd the
Oh my
Astros
God,
get? How'd
guys.
the Astros get him?
Oh my God, man!
How'd the
This is
Astros
crazy
get him?
talk. James Paxton pitched great in the playoffs last year.
Second
I don't
half
know.
last year was awesome.
Because you know why, Petro? Because here's what he does. Okay, and I had this conversation.
Oh,
Here's what he does.
okay.
He makes
Let's hear it.
terrible deals, and then he just tries to bail him out. Like everyone's
James
saying,
Paxton, we're paying James Paxton $8 million.
yeah, but you got him as your 1 or 2.
No, Tanaka, and you're forgetting that Luis Severino.
Never
German-
pitches. He's always
German-
hurt.
Domingo German.
Yeah.
Guy won 17 games last year.
Yep.
When's he pitching?
Next year.
Next year.
Oh, next year. What are you going to do this year?
We're going to win.
Win the
We're
World
just going to
Series.
out-hit everybody.
But
because
again,
Aaron Judge. Oh man.
But you don't understand. But here's my point,
Here's
Jim.
the thing with Kurt. Go ahead.
No, Kenny.
No,
Wait, listen. But Kenny, hold on. You just said, and Petro's just saying, oh well, like he just tries to bail himself out, like Garrett Cole. What did Cashman do to get Garrett Cole? He just overpaid him. But that's not a good deal. Look at the problems he's made. J.A. Happ, Paxton, Sonny Gray. That's deals he made. That's deals, not signing CC Sabathia. Oh, they give you 10, here's 20. What is that? Anybody could do that.
Wait a minute, Kurt.
No, but if anybody
said the Mets were going to roll this year because their pitching staff.
Yeah, but they got
Matt
hurt.
sucks. DeGrom is whatever. Syndergaard's gone.
Come on, you guys can sit there all you want. Stroman,
we're going to take Seth Lugo before the trade deadline too.
You guys are lying.
Ready, guys?
Hold on. You guys are lying. Kenny, you guys are lying if you're going to sit there and say, after Cole, you wouldn't go Syndergaard and Stroman and DeGrom over anything the Yankees got.
No shit.
Right.
What is going on?
What kind of?
No shit.
Right.
He took the nonsense pills tonight.
That's terrible.
My
That's
God.
Point I want to make.
We'll see.
Kenny, straighten him out.
The only point I want to make is Kurt mentioning Cueto and Bumgarner.
Yeah.
Get him this year, and what's going to happen next year when he's garbage? Kurt's going to
retreads. They're done.
Trade this guy, right? Beelan, this one's going to be his arms. Trade this guy. Trade this guy.
Okay. I want to see you guys. I want to see the Yankees go
You're
up
going to be
against the
stuck
pitcher.
with Johnny Cueto, J.A. Happ. You're going to be stuck with those guys. You know, get me Bauer. Get me Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, they're going to give you Trevor Bauer for the number 19th guy in your farm club. Get out of here.
Give me a chance to tell you who I'm giving up Trevor Bauer
up anybody for Trevor Bauer. Anybody they want. Andujar, Frazier.
Clint Frazier.
Any of
You
those
get your choice,
guys.
Clint Frazier and one of my prospect pitchers, not Garcia. You can get Schmidt. You can get anybody else.
I'd rather give up Garcia than Schmidt. I think Garcia has kind of shown that
this is why
he really doesn't have it.
Though, guys.
Wait a minute, guys. Hold on. Here's the lesson you guys keep saying to me. All I keep hearing is how great this farm system is. Besides, don't count Tanaka because you signed him too. Besides Severino, who else pitches from the Yankee Farm Club?
Herman.
Okay, he's arrested.
He had 18. Kurt, he had 18 wins last year. Kurt,
okay,
18 wins.
But he ain't helping you this year.
Jordan Montgomery.
Oh,
yeah, he's gonna help you in the playoffs. Come on.
He's 2-1.
The guy's coming back from an injury. Kurt, would you relax?
Yeah, he's coming off of Tommy John, but we should pick Johnny Cueto, who's still owed $66 million. Yep. You're talking about taking on bad contracts, but let's go and take on Johnny Cueto for $66 million and Madison Bumgarner for $85 million. Let's go and do that. Let's go. Let's sign me up.
When the Yankees are down 2-1 in a series, and you guys are going, hold on, I know the Yankee fans are going, come on, Paxton, get us to the third inning. That's going to really win. That's a joke. Get you to the third inning and get to the bullpen.
What did Paxton do wrong in last year's playoff game, Kurt? You can't answer that to me.
Paxton beat the Astros in Game 5. Shut him down.
Controversial host time. Don't you guys
shut him down?
You're
shut him down. How quickly
what he wants.
It's like crazy to me that you forget that. It's crazy that you forget how good he was.
I want to get into Beelan's Braves real quick. Who are you going to trade for if you're the GM, Braylon? You lost Soroka. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to stop the Yankees.
No, that's all right. We could do that for hours.
Honestly, Bauer's are realistic, I think, for you guys.
Hey, guys, how good – just quick pause. How good is Tatis Jr.? How good is he?
Stud.
Oh, my God, he's good. That is some sick good right there.
Maybe the Yankees can go and trade for him, too, in fantasy land.
I'll tell you this. Tatis Jr., I'm signing him before I'm signing Aaron Judge. I could tell you that.
Shit.
No brainer.
Shit.
Tell you that. Well,
tell you what, you know John Elway, but you're all right, Kurt.
Aaron Judge.
John,
everybody again. Aaron Judge. Give him $40 million. He'll be him and Stanton will be sitting together in the stands.
John, who do you want as a Brave guy? Because I just muted Kurt.
Honestly, I would love to see
Johnny Cueto.
Sorry, I muted you for a second.
Johnny Cueto. No, I would love to see Lance Lynn come over.
Okay.
I think the Braves, they love strikeout guys. So, and I
He's
think
just an innings eater, right, Johnny? He'll come in there, you know.
We ran and raved about the Braves. Let's go out there and let's go after him, Kurt. Lance Lynn.
He's good depth, and you guys know too with with these games. These starting pitchers are not going long. They're going like 4 innings, 5 innings. Like, there's a couple of guys that are actually going like longer than that. But the average is like 5 innings, I think they said, for starting pitchers, or it was like 4 point something. So that's not a lot, man. But either
John,
him,
what's impressive? That kid Toussaint. Like, if he gets more faith in his fastball,
man,
he's 97 topping out with a 79-mile-an-hour hook, which is pretty filthy, but he doesn't have confidence in that fastball.
Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Like, he's good. It's like the first 2 batters he's good, and then like the third batter bangs him around, and then he just like completely loses it, and then he like restarts all over again like the next inning. It's frustrating to watch him because he came up last year and he was solid last year too for a couple of games. But it does the same thing. And listen, he's going to be playing because it's a good year for him to see what he's going to be doing this year, because this whole year is just it's a crock. But
you got a tough break with Folty, just whatever, and then kid tearing his Achilles.
I don't get it, man. I don't know. I don't know how that even happens. I mean, honestly, if I was just the Braves, I would try to go after Lynn. I know it's a little crazy, but I would love to see maybe if they can push to get Nolan Arenado, because he can be a super upgrade for Riley, and I think Riley has still good trade value. So I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know. I just don't see a lot of trades happening before the trade deadline. It's so unpredictable.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. Newsflash. LeMahieu just got another hit.
Yep. Chris Schroel just said it.
A triple.
Kurt, do we have like a minute or two for a quick follow-up question?
Sure.
That we didn't get to yet? Okay. There's 3 teams that are really surprised. And my question is, the Dodgers are not in first place. My first question is going to be quick, like 10-second answers. Could the Padres or Rockies win the NL West this year? I'll start with John.
Yes.
Petro.
Yeah, they can, because I think you got to keep Kershaw healthy. If Kershaw can't stay healthy, that Dodger staff's going to be in trouble. So, yes, they can. They absolutely can.
I agree with both you guys. Kurt.
Yeah, I think the Rockies more than the Padres, but yeah, I'll say yeah.
Okay, and Jim.
Yes, I think it's going to be a tough haul for the Padres, but they're young and they're playing hard.
Fair enough. Oakland, they stay hot and win the division by far, or do the Astros cut the deficit or overtake them? Start with Petro.
Astros aren't catching anything with no pitching. Verlander's done for the
only
year.
Thing they're catching is fastballs in the ribs.
But I mean,
trade with the Astros.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Springer's name came up with the Yankees.
Springer's a free agent next year, so it's possible they can try and get rid of him if they don't see them signing him back.
I said that 2 episodes ago.
We'll go to Kurt.
Again, I agree. If Verlander's not there, there's no chance. No chance.
It's fair enough.
Doug Ogle just threw that out. What about an extension with DJ? Good point. We were talking about that before, right, Skip?
Yankees are going to get that deal done. Yeah, I'm not worried about that one. I'm not worried about that one. That's one I'm not worried about.
One last one. If the Cubs go out and make a splash at the trade deadline, like for relief pitching, are they a legit World Series contender?
Cubs?
I'll let you guys open it up, whatever order you want to go in.
I'll say same thing I said for the Dodgers. Darvish has looked good, but he's another one who's got to stay healthy for them to stay going, because the Cubs' big thing has been pitching. They haven't had pitching. When they traded for Chapman, that was what they needed, and then Madden abused that guy, and they got lucky and won the World Series. And by the way, we talk about how bad Chapman was. You remember what we got Gleyber Torres for, right?
Listen, I could tell you guys this right now. Hands down, Cubs won that deal. They won a World Series. Yankees haven't won anything, so Cubs won that one right now.
How long have the Cubs waited for? How long did they wait for?
Exactly. He was their final piece.
That's the point I was making. Does Epstein go, try and load up and trade his farm away again?
I can see the only guy that makes sense for me is Hader, and that's an in-division trade. That's tough for me to see the Milwaukee Brewers doing that. But Hader was all they wanted the Yankees to trade for Hader last year.
I was thinking a couple names was like Colomé from the White Sox or Kennedy from the Royals. Ian Kennedy's name.
Ian Kennedy's not a bad one.
I'm going to say the Cubs no, because again, and Rich Twink is saying here, these games really don't matter. You just got 8 teams are going to make it now, so the Dodgers could take the foot off, all that kind of stuff, yada yada. And I agree. But it comes playoff times, the Cubs can't pitch. Cubs don't have the pitching. The Cubs will be in 2-1 games, and they'll have to keep 2-1 games, and their pitching's they won't do it in the National League. No way. Cardinals would beat them.
I know he hasn't been good in New York because he's played for both New York teams, but you put him in a different scenario altogether. How about Betances?
Betances scares.
Not necessarily as the closer, but to help that bullpen in Chicago.
You guys realize that the Cardinals have to play 55 games in 45 days?
They don't though, because it's based on win percentage. So if the Cardinals can wind up playing 30 games, and if they have a higher win percentage than a team, they get in. That's the way the rule is. It's not based on your record. It's
Tell you what,
win.
Those 7-inning doubleheaders are awesome. Is anybody else in on those? I think they're awesome.
I like them.
You know what? I had said that last year. If you wanted to get baseball, more people to watch, make the game 7 innings, 2 hours, 44 minutes. You make it a 7-inning game, you'll get more people watching it.
Guys, it's 10-10, but Shul's saying stump Kurt. I mean, I rolled one hot dog. The second thing was what? Wings or something? Hot wings? Do you guys have anything for me tonight or not?
Hot ones challenge. Now we'll save it for next week.
Save it for next week?
When are we doing the hot dog?
Whenever somebody brings it to me. Beelin's supposed to bring me the hot dog.
I may be up there in 2 weeks, guys. I don't know yet. We're going to talk it over with Kurt. I may be coming. If that's the case, I will guarantee there will be Ruts Hut on the air that night. I got no house here. I got the, I'm working on the house down here. So in 2 weeks when they're doing the work, I'm going to probably come up to New Jersey for a few days.
Vacate right there.
Little heated, baby. Little heated.
That was nice controversial.
You know what, Kurt? Don't want to get me started.
Anybody else got any quick hitters?
Listen, but hold on. But Jim, here's my thing, and I'm not going to change my thing. In a court, you don't pay below average to below average quarterbacks top 5 quarterback money. And in the NBA, you don't pay people who aren't max guys max money. And in baseball, it's all about pitching. What have I switched? You're just asking me. The same thing with the Cubs. But the thing is, everyone keeps saying how great this lineup and Sanchez and Sanchez stinks. But Beeling couldn't say it anymore. He stinks.
Sanchez's name. We've all said he stinks.
Right, but so cross him off that list. Like, you better get a contact. Aaron Hicks stinks. I mean, really, what is in that lineup? Like, what's in that lineup?
I don't know. We're in first place.
Yeah, but
I can go on and on and on about this.
Aaron Judge, who leads the league in home runs.
But look at these low-priced guys that
DJ LeMahieu, who leads the league in batting average.
DJ LeMahieu, again, here's the thing. And you guys can say it to all you want. If you're down, you are down.
He won't listen to anybody.
No. But real quick, Kenny, because this is important. Playoff season starts. See, anybody could talk now about this, and drink the Kool-Aid. But when you're down 1 run and it's game 7, you want LeMahieu up, right? You might want Torres up. You don't want Judge up because you know what's going to happen. Curveball, walk off the field. You know what's going to happen. Sanchez, you don't want up. So why build him up now? Aaron Hicks, you don't want Aaron Hicks up. You know, just like you don't want Paxton you're down 3-2 in a playoff game. You want James Paxton. You guys are out of your mind. You should just like Tampa Bay.
Funny?
Go bullpen the whole game.
I'm out of my mind, but I picked him as a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
You know what's funny is we were down 3-1 when James Paxton took the mound against the Houston Astros, and he shut the Astros down in Game 5. So
I was there.
That's pretty good.
Perfect, guys. You know what? Because whoever Kurt switches his vitriol to, like he hated Judge, boom, 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 homers.
I'm still not paying Judge top 5 money.
You started trashing Paxton last week. Stick with it, Kurt.
Beelan, hold on, real quick to close it out. Beelan, is Aaron Judge a top 10 player in baseball?
Yes.
Thank you, Kenny. Is Aaron Judge a top 10 player in baseball?
When healthy, absolutely.
Oh, when healthy. Oh,
Jim,
my God. When healthy.
You can say, yeah, but you know what? You know what, though? You can say that literally about any player. When Mike Trout is healthy, he's the best player. So, yes. He is. Jim, is he a top 10 player in baseball?
Okay. When he's on the field, yeah.
When he's on, okay, so you're paying him, are you guys paying him a 7-year, $40 million a year contract?
No, because no one's going to pay him that. So what are you talking about?
What do you think he's going to make, $20 million? What's he
No,
but
what? Why is it unreasonable to pay a 31-year-old outfielder? He's 31.
Okay, but
he's not no spring chicken.
You think he's going to get?
Who's 31?
Aaron Judge. He's going to be 31 by the time his contract.
So how much do you think
when his contract's done?
Yeah, it's 31 years old.
So how much is it? How much?
25 million.
Okay, 25. Okay, so not a million over that, right? After 25, it's a bad deal, right?
No, I'm not penny pinching. Like I said, it's the Yankees. I don't care about the money. It doesn't matter to me. You bring up all the bad deals. Brian Cashman also went and signed DJ LeMahieu, who everybody said outside of Colorado he was going to be a nobody.
Good deal.
Gio Urshela, good deal. Mike Talkman, good deal. I can go through 1,000 good deals, and you're naming 5 bad ones that aren't even that bad.
How about Luke Voigt? We got him off the scrap heap from the Cardinals. That was a great deal.
The future of our franchise was traded for Aroldis Chapman, who we then went and got back.
But the Cubs won that trade. They won the World Series. The Yankees
won a World Series 10 years ago. The Cubs won 60 years.
You got to look at it over time.
Just like I don't want Paxton, just like I don't want Judge up, and I don't want Sanchez. You don't pay Dak Prescott because when all of a sudden it's, oh my God, Cowboys are down 24-14 and he's got to throw the ball. Good night, Irene. Pack up the bus because that's going to turn to 31-14 when he throws a pick. Then you take your $40 million and you go, oh, what are we going to do with Dak Prescott? You know what you're going to do? Put him hold a clipboard because he's a bust.
I agree. I think everyone here agrees he's not a $40 million quarterback. But I think what, Beelan, you think he should get $40 million?
No,
he's not. He's not. He's worth
30 to 35.
No. I think he was crazy. I think Dak Prescott's going to really regret turning down that $30 to $33 million contract. I think that's what he will regret because I think that is overpaying him personally.
Jim, can I read your mind? Are you saying, why are we talking about Dak Prescott right now? Is that what's going through your mind?
What's next? You're going to talk about damn A-Rod?
Listen,
get in there. Why don't you?
Listen, A-Rod's better than any player we mentioned tonight.
All right, I'm making an announcement.
A-Rod was a
From this point only, I'm doing baseball only.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm doing baseball only shows. Pick a night. I'm doing baseball. I don't want to talk about Dak Prescott. I don't want to talk about basketball. Don't want to talk about hockey. I will do baseball only.
I'm telling you, Beelan. What do you think, Beelan? A-Rod's the best player we talked about all night?
No.
Thanks, Beelan. Thank you.
I don't ever mention A-Rod, Barry Bonds, Rafael Palmeiro in a sentence with me for baseball. They have asterisks. They're garbage. Get out of here. You're terrible for baseball. McGuire, Sosa, terrible for baseball.
Thumbs up for John.
I like it.
Never out of here. Get out of here.
And you got to say the same thing, John, about Tom Brady and Belichick in football.
Albert Pujols is one of the best all-time natural hitters in Major League Baseball.
Miggy too.
Yep.
Yeah, but Miggy's done now.
Well,
by the way, guys, guy on the Oakland, if the hitting coach from the Astros said something about my mother, I'd go after him in the dugout too.
Was it his mother? Was it his mother or mother-in-law?
No, his mother. He said something vile about his mother.
20 games?
Yeah. And then he hid. And then he hid behind the other guys in the dugout. Little wuss on Houston. Should have let Laureano go at him, rip his head off.
Oh, wait until they play him again at the end of the year.
Yep.
He's
Don't
going to
hit
run
the
down
Astros.
first base,
Don't hit
carrying
the
the bat in
Astros.
his hand, flinging it.
But can't you see like I could see real quick before we go, but I could see the Astros like a team like saying, like, I forgot, Kenny, you were saying before, like just cleaning out the minor leagues. I know you're saying there's not much, but whatever's there, just to go and say, we want to be in the race. So we don't have Verlander or we need another pitcher. We'll go get the best pitcher on the market. Like I could see the Astros doing that.
If I'm a GM, all joking aside, I'm not trading with the Astros this year. You know, you're cheating.
You don't
the
say.
Astros.
I don't want to cheat. I don't want a cheater on my team, and I'm not making your team better.
Listen, take the cheating out of it, okay? Garrett Cole leaving the Astros messed up that franchise.
Of course.
Huge. It was huge.
Springer's gone next year. Verlander's gone possibly next year.
Correa too, probably.
Yeah. Dude, they had their window. They got their championship, and now it's going to be like whatever.
Springer's going to be in
It's going
pinstripes.
to be like the Marlins a few years back. You're going to turn into the Marlins.
Yeah, it's sad too. It's sad too because
but
it's sad too because that Astros team should have won multiple ones.
Yeah. Yep.
They absolutely should have won it. They absolutely should have won that World Series last year. They absolutely should have won it. Cole and Verlander. Oh my God.
I agree. All right, boys. Anything else? Final thoughts?
Hey, real quick, would you guys take, as Yankee fans, would you guys trade Stanton for Strasburg?
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
1,000,000%.
Heartbeat. Even with Strasburg,
you're asking
even with Strasburg's, even with the arm problems and the big contract, yes.
Beelan, you know my answer is, listen, I'm holding Cole back, and I'm saying just take whatever the hell else you want. Because if I can get Cole and Strasburg, I'm putting up number 28, 29. That they win the World Series with Strasburg and Cole. I don't care who's on their offense. So take whoever the hell you want, but you're not taking Cole. Anybody.
Did you guys see, by the way, what the Reds did the other day with their pitching?
Richie Katwinka's saying the Nats wouldn't do it, Beelan.
No one would do that.
But I just threw it out there. No, the Reds the other day, it was pretty crazy what they did. One of their starting rookies got axed. He had a blister on his finger. So what they did is they legitimately started the game with their closer, and then they rotated backwards.
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling. And by the way, the Reds, 4 of their 5 starting pitchers are in the top 10 Ks this year.
Their bullpen's bad. Their bullpen blew how many? All right, but real quick, Bean, I got one for you. Who do you think is the best young pitcher in baseball? And Strasburg counts as being a younger player. I mean,
nah, Strasburg's not that young though.
All right, give me somebody.
Dustin May on the Dodgers.
Oh,
stuff is filthy.
He's a good one.
He looks like Carrot Top out there throwing too.
That two-seam fastball that he throws, it is like unhittable.
All right, don't even say young. Give me your top 3 pitchers. Don't count Cole. 3 best pitchers after Cole baseball.
Why? We're gonna do this during my new baseball show. Why?
Real quick. Go ahead.
Come on.
After Cole.
After Cole. Yeah, you can't say Cole.
And he's laughing.
DeGrom, Scherzer.
Oh, by the way, Kenny, you're hosting the baseball show.
DeGrom, Scherzer, Bueller.
Okay. right now, would there be any one of those teams come to you for their guy, for one of those 3 guys, and says, we'll trade you to the Yankees. Besides Cole, me personally, nobody else is off limits on that Yankee team. For any one of those 3, because you're gonna put.
You're talking like a 1-for-1? So like Gleyber Torres for DeGrom?
Absolutely.
Torres for DeGrom? Yes.
Yes.
Night, Kurt.
You doing it?
Torres for Scherzer? Most likely.
Yes. The only guy I probably wouldn't do it for is Bueller, I don't think.
Although he's in LA to New York, it's still big markets, possibly.
Because you got to admit this.
Is so good.
Petro, you got to admit this in all seriousness. You put, say, DeGrom and Cole. I mean, seriously, who's beating that team?
I hear you, but they couldn't get it done with Verlander and Cole last year.
But you're right there, though. I mean, you're right.
But you're right there is cool and all, but second place doesn't mean shit. Who cares?
No, but I'm saying, how do you not? How do you, in all seriousness, how do you make that deal? How do you not make that deal?
Kurt,
Jim's back. Jim, let's see, because
it's the Astros lineup, Kurt. A big and was the Astros lineup, and they couldn't get it done.
But time out, because Jim gets Jim has the final word, because everybody here, Pedro said Beelan, did you say yes?
No.
You're saying no.
I'm not even answering it.
I didn't even know what the question is, Kurt. I blocked you out.
DeGrom.
Would you trade Glaber for DeGrom straight up?
Yes.
No.
Petro said yes, and Kenny said
yes. Don't
yes.
have a shelf life.
It's hard.
You guys
It's
haven't
hard for
figured
me.
it out.
It's true, though.
Pitchers aren't
That's true, too.
disposable.
The only
That's true, too.
50 guys on the IL right now. 50 pitchers are on the IL because they didn't. They're disposable.
DeGrom's not one though.
Yep.
You know what? Once again, I'm looking at Johnny. You know what? If I'm looking for what DeGrom can give me, once again, proven Glaber's younger in his career. I think a position player is going to give you more over time. I like Glaber's ceiling.
And Kurt, you want three pitchers that are legitly young, that are not Scherzers or whatever, Cole or anything. Soroka, Flannery, and what the hell is his name?
Flaherty.
Yeah, he just said that's.
Yeah,
I like the kid Paddock.
Bieber.
I thought you were going to say Clevinger too, man.
I like Paddock from Padres too. That kid's
So
good.
one of those three guys, Jim, you're the GM. How are you turning that down? How?
No, those three that Beelan just said, I wouldn't do for Glaber Torres.
Okay, but DeGrom you would, and Scherzer you would.
DeGrom I would.
Not
Scherzer I would.
No.
Scherzer's so good.
But you know what? A lot of miles on it.
That's true too. DeGrom has a lot of miles too, though. The thing,
But this is the thing though. When you're on the Yankees.
But wait, but hold on, Beelan, because Rich is saying it. Torres gets you to the playoffs. Guys like Cole and DeGrom win it for you. That's the
But
proof.
Cole hasn't. That's funny.
proof.
That's funny. That's really funny because Cole and DeGrom both pitched in World Series already, and they won 0. They couldn't beat the Royals, who had no pitching. And they couldn't beat the Washington Nationals, who were the second to worst team in baseball at the All-Star break.
Get him, Pedro, go!
So don't go and tell me. And the Houston Astros, let me tell you something. The Houston
red his
Astros,
face is getting.
Not the pitching now. Not the pitching.
What do you mean not the pitching? Houston Astros had
You just
the two
wait.
best pitchers in
Hold on.
baseball
Time out,
last year.
Kenny. You know what? Let me ask this, and I swear this is the last thing because it's 10:25. But Kenny, you're in the Washington area. That Washington lineup last year, was it good?
It wasn't bad. They had Rendon.
But why? Okay, why
You
do
had the MVP.
I knew that team was going to win the World Series. I told you that.
But why? Because to win the World Series. But why?
Astros and the Dodgers. I
But
said,
why?
Watch out for the Nationals.
But why?
Their lineup was good, but their starting pitching was good.
Their starting pitching was phenomenal. Phenomenal. When you can throw out Corbin as your, what was he, number 4? Was he even a starter? Was he in the bullpen? That's nuts.
The same 3 they got this year, Kurt.
Right.
But their lineup is weaker, Kurt. Their lineup is weaker.
But if they get in the playoffs, they will get to the NLCS if they get in the playoffs because their pitching's just gonna they'll win 2-1 games, 1-0 games.
They're not.
So that's my prediction.
Pitching's not going
to. Hey, final word. Kurt is getting a hot dog delivered to him on Wednesday because he really got on my nerves tonight.
Then bring it, Petro.
Yeah, that's a good final word.
You should do that and bring the wings.
I'll drive you.
Perfect.
You know what?
Rich has the final word. LOL. With only Cole as a top starter, the Yanks will be bridesmaids once again.
Awesome.
Thanks. Okay, good.
We'll see. We'll see.
Everybody.
But you know what? You know what's funny? We have Garrett Cole for another 8 years. So if we don't win it this year, we'll be there next year and the next year. And the next
talking
year,
baseball with Jim Sickinger. Everybody but Kurt. There we go. There's the new show. Talking baseball. Not with that lunatic.
The beautiful part about being a Yankee fan, we can win it every single year.
Yes. All right, I'm going to go watch the end of the game. I've had enough of this nonsense.
All right, boys. Great show.
That's my final word.
By the way, are we going like 2.5 hours? Is that the new time?
I don't. We were 27 minutes late. Felt like 2 minutes late. Everyone was fired up tonight.
No, you.
Mr.
All right,
Controversy.
boys. Rich, I'm with you. Rich Katwinka, I am with you 100% tonight. See you guys later.